reiterate. Treasury. China-Africa relations can be a win-win for both sides, as an opinion article on that. Church leadership distances itself from Mackenzie. If you don't know Mackenzie, that's the Shakahola massacre. People were killed and buried in Shakahola. But church leadership has distanced itself from him. The problem isn't too many representatives, but lack of accountability. That is also another article on us trying to punguza mzigo from representation in Kenya. MP's tirade against Treasury mandarins misses point. That's also an open article. And amongst the saddest news is school fires. Students' parents are on their own. There is no Zimamoto. There is nothing to help people. And if you don't know where the topic of school fires is coming from, there's been Endarasha fire tragedy calls for safety review, because I think the death toll is now at 20, because 20 children died at Endarasha. Man, it's so sad. Can't imagine a parent losing a child. Human resource practitioners urged to desist from corrupt practices. Kiambu County puts grabbers of local AHP land on notice. Kiambu is always on notice on people stealing land. I don't know what's going on. State directed not to award Liwatoni fish that tender, because man, people are fishing crazy. Sustaining a long distance relationship, I don't know why. But anyway, People Daily is one of those papers that will post anything and everything. 7 fresh faces arrive at KCB. That's the football club for 2024-2025 title campaign that is in Kenyan sports. Scientists in new solutions to fight insecticide resistance, emerging mosquito species. If you've been following malaria news, because I follow it, and Bill Gates is big on this. I don't know why Bill Gates is big on everything. So yeah, there's a new mosquito species that is very resistant to all the insecticides that you're using. So there's investment to do that, to get a better insecticide as well. Let's go to the Nation so that we save on time. And this might be the last paper that we do before we get into the topic of the session, topic of the day, sorry, so that we save on time. Dinner in the dark, 10,000 per plate journey into world of the blind. Manze, imagine there is a harambe that was organized and you had to pay. And it's for people with disabilities. So you had to pay 10,000 per plate. So freshly minted Nairobi City Marathon winners have vowed not to rest on their laurels as they seek more honors in road running. Nairobi City Marathon has happened yesterday. I'm not so sure. Yes. And it was 42 kilometers. That's the longest marathon that can be done in the city marathon. So that happened yesterday. In other news, at least 48 people were killed on Sunday in a fuel tanker truck explosion following a collision with another vehicle in north central Nigeria. Nigeria has it again, takes the lead in road accidents. The Director of Criminal Investigations, that DCI, has started interrogating former officials of Kenya Tea Development Agency, KTDA, over embezzlement of 600 million Kenya shillings, farmers' cash. Former KTDA Director Kennedy Omanga is this week expected at DCI headquarters to record statements over the cash allegedly embezzled by some top officials. Kenya wizi ni kila wakati. KTDA, and they had elections last month, so could imagine. Public servants have received an average pay increase of 946 Kenya shillings per month over the last 4 years through salary reviews, collective bargain negotiations, bonuses, benefits, and allowances. Imagine, guys, over the last oh god. So over the last few years, public servants have been receiving 946 Kenya shillings. 900, I'm repeating, 946 Kenya shillings per month. Amos Nyaribo, Nyamira governor, limps from crisis. This guy in Nyamira County, and I remember Beverly and Kwamboka here on Twitter, had always tried to highlight what Nyamira County is going on. This governor even tried to bribe not tried, he bribed people as well to stop working with Beverly Kwamboka. But Namira will always be in the news, corruption, etc., etc. So it's up to you to decide what to check out on your governor. Guyo is asking, are public mortuaries being used to cover up extrajudicial killings? Nairobi Funeral Home has been turned into a state facility to offer cover up for suspicious deaths of Kenyans. Swali kuu ndo hiyo. Are they hiding something? Detectives are piecing together information expected to unravel the mystery behind a dormitory fire that left 21 children dead at Hillside Endarasha Academy in Kieni, Nyeri County. The bodies were moved to Narumoro Level 4 Hospital's mortuary for autopsy and DNA test in a bid to establish the identities of the deceased. Hii news ni sad sana. Next, irony of Ruto who ousted Raila from AU leading his new campaigns. Ruto, China, and Dark SGR Secrets. That's the title of the Daily Nation. And the reason for that is there's new information that China never advanced a loan to Kenya for the SGR. So who? Who have we been repaying that loan? Who? Some suspect the former president's brother. Some say it is Ruto. But no one knows. But we need that debt register so that we know. And someone needs to follow it up. Because this is the odious debt that Jimmy Wanjigo was speaking about. And now let us get to the open section as well. So what are you mad about today? What is the rage on? Because this is Monday, and Monday, manze, tuko na Monday blues. So this is just probably a rant space to speak about what are you mad about and what do you think can be done. Now I have 3 speakers, which I'm going to give. Nikikunywa maji, manze ni morning. So as we prepare for work, as we prepare to even do anything else, kama uendi kazi, kama unaenda shule, welcome, because I've realized also a big part of the audience that listens to Sauti ya Mwananchi is made up of students as well. So welcome as well. And I encourage you guys, students, to also pick up the mic and offer your opinion on Sauti ya Mwananchi because, manze, you have an ID. You are more than 18 years old. So please, your opinion matters. And very soon, if you've not voted, you're going to be part of the voters. So please pick up the mic and offer us what your opinion is. And to the people joining us from diaspora, because I know this is weird hours as well. And interestingly, the recorded version is listened to more than the live version. I encourage you to retweet the space. Wycliffe, ngoja kidogo, nakupea mic. Please mute yourself, Wycliffe. Thank you. I encourage you to retweet the space so that more and more comrades can also come around and join the conversation. As always, they will join. Here, hakuna shida. They will always join. So please also focus on what are you saying and are you happy about where Kenya is? Because if you're happy, then all we are doing in calling out bad governance today in Kenya is going nowhere. So I'll come back with my piece on why I am mad. But to open the session, Toria, good morning. Can you hear me? Naweza kuwa najiongelesha.
Good morning. How are you?
Niko salama. Please take it away.
Mimi na feel vibaya. Kuna mtu tumebishana na huku bana. Imagine, it's so bad. Like, you guys, we come here, we rant, we say fees must fall. Then you go on the whatever has been posted, you start saying that you approve fees to be, yani, that new modding funnel, whatever, to be passed. Yani, mtu anakuja hapo una rant fees must fall, alafu unakuja kusema ati una support hiyo ipite. Then ukiulizwa kwa nini, you say that in Kenya we are having a lot of degrees which are excess that the country cannot accommodate. What the fucking hell is that, Kaifafa? Yani we are doing this all in all together, then the last minute mnakuja kuturuka kama viroboto. Neke guy. Hey, Aki Wanyama, I feel so bad. Yani I think we have like everybody in this country has a right and a choice as long as you are 18 years and above to go ahead and make your own decision. So even those leaders who went ahead and say that they have called off the demonstrations for today because of fees must fall, that is their own opinion or whatever they were bought, whatever they know themselves. But you think like a comrade, you yourself, your parents is the one who is gonna suffer. You yourself, you're going to experience a lot of challenges here as a student, these and these different things. Even it might be hard for you to finish was over during 2010. Yeah, that nigga said that education stopped being a right in 2010. It's no longer a right and it's no longer a key. Who said so? Who? Wanyama, me for today, I'm just mad. What I want to hear is just that fees must fall. Yeah, we have a lot as a country that we are facing that we have to fight, keep on fighting for our country because, manze, a lot is waiting for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Toria. Wycliffe, do you have something to say? Because you've been unmuting yourself over and over.
Uh, I have something to say, Wanyama. First of all, let me say
Yeah.
good morning to everyone. I hope all of you are good. What I want to say, Wanyama, first of all, this government has taken this thing for granted. Rising fee is not an issue. Is an issue to us because most of us and most of our children are in school, most of our cousins, sisters, and siblings. First of all, what I may urge us as youth to do, before 2027, let us do something that may show off that we have that potential that we can do. Moving to streets is a good idea, yes, but it's killing a lot of us and reducing the number of us. Then the thing the government is doing that they take this going to streets as not the issue at all to them because each and every day we do go to streets. After all, some of our leaders congest together and be given something, then they leave us like that. So what we can do specifically is 2027. I may urge everyone, let's change the system of the governance. That will help us a lot because we want to elect someone who knows what is the meaning of the education, because education is the basic thing to us like Kenyans, because without education you can go nowhere in this world, and you can go nowhere more so in Kenya because from 2010, since Kibaki 2007, when I was still a young boy, and Kibaki entered and he said that free education from 2002 to 2010. It's become free education, and this free education is gives us a lot of opportunity. So Ruto want to deny us this opportunity because this opportunity is limiting him. You know that when many Kenyans are well educated, we might do something curious. And I think it has come to his fear that Kenyans have something to say. So, Wanyama, I may say that thank you for giving me this opportunity. But on top of that, when the IBC come up, I will urge most of the youths and most of the Kenyans youth to register as many as voters in Kenya so that we can vote whom we want, because this person is enoughing us. I can say that. Thank you, Wanyama.
Thanks a lot too. HCL, you've been raising your hand. Go ahead. Mwakalu. Mwakalu. Please go ahead and speak because your hand has been raised throughout. Going once, Mwakalu. Going twice. Gilbert. Mr. Maina Mwangi. Good morning.
Oh, good morning to you too. Uh-huh. Let me first take some time and listen to your opinions before I take the mic and speak, please.
Okay. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, ACL. Thank you, Gilbert.
Thank you, Mr. Wanyama,
Thank you, Gilbert.
hosting
HCL, go
this
ahead.
every morning. It's a good idea of having this space where it brings us, all of us together. And today, what I'm so mad about it is this: the university that some leaders, some leader students of university have called off the demonstration, ambayo hii ni kitu inaturudisha nyuma sana, because kama watu wamepanga kitu kizuri, watu waende demonstration huko kwa street, then some few leaders wanakuja wanasema kuwa hiyo demonstration wame cancel. So tunashindwa, kwani hawa wenye wana cancel hii demonstration wamelipwa nini na gava? And at by the end of the day, wazazi wao ndo wanaumia, wanalipa school fees, mob zinapanda, na ni just few they have been paid, waumize watu wengine. Kwa nini wanafanya hivi? Hii kitu mimi nasikia imenikera sana siku ya leo, kwa sababu kama kuna, it's like they are dragging us behind, na penye tunapanga tunasaidia wazazi wetu, kwa sababu most of the parents wanalipa school fees, au hata kama walienda huko State House akatoa kitu kidogo, hiyo kitu kidogo haiwezi kuwalipia school fees ya mwaka mzima. So I'm so worried kwa nini wanafanya hivi. Next thing, ile kitu yenye ninakuwa mad zaidi ni kiamka asubuhi tu na lose appetite, mambo na house levy. Mbona wakati watu house levy, wakati mtu anafanya kazi, pengine mtu alichukua loan mahali ili ajenge nyumba, alafu mnanimbru kenge zingine zinakuja zinakwambia zinakujengea nyumba ya nini? Na mimi sijui sheria, but akili yangu kidogo nafikiria wakati mtu anakujengea kitu ama anakuzia kitu, it must be a negotiation between the seller and the buyer. Kwanza muagree mahali anakununulia, are you ready to buy? Lakini mtu anaamka tu asubuhi anakwambia anakukata house levy, anakujengea nyumba, hakujakuuliza kama unataka nyumba. Some parents they have loans in the banks, walichukua wajenge nyumba, mtu mwingine anakwambia anakujengea nyumba. Ya kazi gani shwali? And I'm sure all this money zenye watu wanakatwa, seti zinajenga nyumba, ni pesa tu imelala mahali. By the end of the day, hiyo pesa itakuja kupotea, hakuna nyumba zenye zitajengwa. So it's like hii government ni ile msemo wa Swahili anasema the big fish to eat the small fish. And if na kama hii jambo tutanyamaza na tukae tu tukae kimya, in the next 5 years 10 years we'll not have country hapa Kenya, kwa sababu it's like wanatumia hizo opportunities kukandamiza watu wadogo wa chini, na hizi spaces zimeleta watu wengi pamoja. Discuss mambo zetu ambazo zina move, lakini there are some few people wana drag watu nyuma tena. Nyinyi mnapanga hivi, wengine wanaenda hivi. I think this tu akili, sababu ya pesa yenye wamelipwa kidogo, itawasaidia na nini sure? Thank you Mr. Wanyama. Mimi sometimes hata nikiongea wanaishiwa tu na maneno juu I'm so mad about it, kwa sababu it's like hata kama umelipwa, you just think umelipwa pesa kidogo. Kumbuka uko na kazini yako kwa university, anataka school fees. Uko na sister yako yuko anataka school fees, alipiwe. Wewe umeenda umepewa pesa kidogo, then una side na government, umiza watu wengine ambao bado wanahitaji huo msaada. Thank you Mr. Wanyama. I'll come back later. I'm quite busy. I'll come back.
Sawa, asante sana. I see Valerie. Valerie, good morning. Valerie Munyeti. Can I be heard? Valerie Munyeti. Going once.
I don't know how I joined the speakers panel, but I just wanted to listen in. Thank you.
Great stuff. But unaweza baki hapo, you will speak again. Just prepare yourself. Today, by the way, if you're joining us right now, we are just speaking generally about what are you mad about. Several people have expressed themselves to the new university funding model, but there are many things that are going on with Kenya at the moment, and mumenirudisha kwa ile university funding model. I remember we hosted a whole space on this thing, and I don't know to what extent civic education is actually going to get us to the final score, but it's not time for us to give up, and it's not time for you and I to also be in a state of angst where we don't really know why other people are mad, or why why we cannot get to what we want. University leaders are important, but what are you doing as a person? Representation has limitations, and sometimes it becomes a game of needs instead of people getting to the point of communicating what people want. And people in this case is split into two: people who have intentions and people who are basically just asking for something simple, and that is, I sent you to do something, please do it in goodwill. But that's in an ideal world. I see Kenya today where palimefika. Manze, representation, it has to be on paper. Like, we even have to have memos and all that with the politicians that we are sending over. Now, a bit of recap on university funding model before we get into me giving you why I am mad about Kenya at the moment. The little recap about the new university funding model is there are 5 bands to it. So, and it is split into two. There is scholarships and there is loans. The band 1 is for extremely needy students with 70% scholarship and 25% loan, with the family contributing only 25% of the fees. Band 2 is 60% scholarship, 30% loan, family contributes 10%. Don't cram these things, by the way, just listen. Band 3, 50% scholarship, 30% loan, and family covers 20%. Band 4, 40% scholarship, 30% loan, family pays 30%. Band 5, which is the high income, is 30% scholarship, 30% loan, family contributes 40%. Now, the issue of the students is people are being allocated even to Band 5, amongst many other issues, which are there's increased financial burden on households, because the other model was quite clear, like where you are allocated, what you're getting as cash, and what is being paid directly to the school, etc., etc. Transparency and cost disclosure is also a problem, because there is skepticism about universities' transparency in disclosing actual program costs, which could lead to hidden cost or inflated fees. Because remember, new funding does not tell you that it's not paying entirely what your school fees is. And school fees has gone all the way to above 100,000. Is it an exclusive of the rich? Anyway, effectiveness of means testing is also a problem. The accuracy and fairness of this thing they have introduced, which is a mean testing instrument, MTI. So this thing asks you about, what is your family income, blah, blah, blah. So even whenever anyone is above 25K or whatever I had, it just places you in band 5. But they forget this is not the only child that this person might be having. And even if you have 25,000, education is not the only need that people spend on. So, guys, there's a lot of problems with this. There's also a problem with loan repayment concerns, because the structure of the loans, including interest rates and repayment terms, has raised worries about future debt levels for students. Because remember, kama HELB yenyewe iko na shida today, and this MTI, which is going to cause more problems, because the overall result for education is to create employment, or people to be employed. Now, HELB itself, with all its problems and its all glory, haija create enough employment. So just think about it. What's going to happen? So bado kuna watu watakuwa na shida ya kuripea hizo vitu. Then access to education as well has become very expensive. Quality education is a problem, because again, I think, because we've been holding spaces on this, Schools are not built from people paying school fees. It's built from capacitation and etc. Those things that you've been wasting money building universities all over the country instead of bettering the current education. Like seriously, kuna places that the university has been built, it was pure corruption. People just wanted to eat money. Because a university with 100 people, really? Is it really serving the public good? Guys, it takes a lot to build a university, billions and billions, and then 100 students showing up to that location. I think they would have been better served at another location, which in that other location, there's bettering. We've seen with the ASAL counties, huge amounts of money being sent to that side. And by the way, people need to stop being tribal and being sectorial and being like, oh, mbona sisi watu wa northeastern tunaangaliwa vibaya and all that. Since devolution started, the ASAL counties, Wajir, Mandera, all those, they've been getting huge amounts of money from other counties, better than other counties. Have they developed themselves? So is us just pushing more of taxpayers' money to such regions a solution? No, I don't think so. Because the solution that is creating is creating a lot of billionaires in terms of governors, deputy governors, etc. And those people don't care who you are. You raise your head, they knock it down. You raise your head. If you're new on Twitter, this is how Hanifa became Hanifa on this platform, because she was calling out the SL counties and their corruption. These people use even the CDFs to educate relatives. You come from money, but you still educate your relatives. So there's a lot to be very mad about the governance in Kenya. I've just given you highlights of the new university funding model and why you should be also aware about it. And thank you guys for also picking the mic. I encourage university students to take up the conversation by themselves and drive the narrative as it should be. Because again, if you don't do it, no one is going to do it for you. So it's always good when university students pick up and speak about all these things. But this is a space also for all other issues. So tafadhali mkichukua mic tusonge mbele. I'll be back with what my problems are. But maybe I should go ahead. No, let me hear from other speakers as we continue the conversation. Steve Juma, good morning.
Niaje bro. Morning.
Mimi niko salama. Take it away.
Asante. Now,
Morning to you too.
yes, I will not. I will just answer to what you posted. That what are my problems, or what makes me mad in this country. I want to highlight two issues that are making me mad. One is the state of our hospital or dispensaries, public dispensaries, the public hospitals. You see these politicians on top of the vehicles telling you how they have bought drugs, how they have equipped certain hospital or certain dispensary. I think they are called hospitals because they're just facilities that have certain paraphernalia for treating or clinical paraphernalia, but there's no service delivery in those facilities. Give you a good example of Mama Lucy. I had an experience where an uncle of mine was admitted there. The guy had collapsed. So we moved there on Monday. The guy collapsed on Sunday. So on Monday, I got an opportunity to get Mama Lucy for the first time to see what is happening there. Then I found people put into certain corridor. They call it an emergency ward. Is a death trap, and actually witnessed people dying. I saw like 3 people dying in a span of 3 hours there. There are no services there. And then the doctors or the nurses, they can't blame them so much, because again they cannot tell you to take your refer your patient elsewhere, because they are afraid if they tell you to do that, then maybe the patient dies along the way. They'll be accused of maybe negligence, or who we are sometimes because of lack of knowledge. So they are also incapacitated. There is little we can do. There are no drugs in these dispensaries. In fact, you'll be told, buy drug from outside, and the drugs are just painkillers. This guy went into a coma there. We had to transfer this person to KU, and that is where we were told there's little much that can be done, because in a span of 4 hours after he had collapsed because of pressure and something, there's something they ought to have done. That was not done. So this guy is now paralyzed forever, according to the doctor. But now, this is what I wanted to say in regards to that. I want to ask, if possible, that all state officers or public civil servants, if any law can be made that their children or even their children should be compelled to go through public schools, or to go through or to be admitted to public hospital before they get further referral. The same way, when you have an assault case, you are told you have to go to a public hospital or a public facility for them to ascertain that indeed you are assaulted. They need the government report. The same way you are told to report to any nearest police station. In fact, if you are aggrieved in particular place, then you report to another further police station. You will be referred back to your local, to a nearest, or wherever the incident happened. So I want these civil, civil servant plus the state officers or anyone working in the government, that when they are sick or they fell sick, they should be first admitted to this. That is a law. They should be first admitted in the local dispensaries, so that they also feel the inconveniences. You see, these people just see what people go through over the media. Then tomorrow they make statements at their comfort zone, telling them that we've managed it, but they don't know how. It's even difficult to get an ambulance. It's even difficult to queue in those lines. It's very difficult when you don't have money to bribe your way to access quick medical attention. And that medical attention itself, it's not there. You queue the line the whole day, only to end up in the hands of somebody who will tell you, we are sorry, we can do very little here. So let the local dispensary or local hospital become the first referral point. Their medical insurances must first be met at local dispensaries. This is a way of first ensuring equality, so that they speak the same language. Let us bridge this gap. It's too huge. Somebody tells you about that we fixed primary schools and we are doing ABCD in primary school. Our public schools are like, they just make those statements. Find out where their kids are. Probably they never even went to public schools. They didn't know. They don't know anything about public school. They're just commenting on something that they don't know. We need something like a law that any government official, watch our benefit from those good things they tell us that they're doing in public facilities. Let them enjoy the schools they purport to be building or equipping. Let them also enjoy the services they claim to be giving or equipping in these public hospitals. That we will start speaking the same language. Because now it's so difficult for these people to relate with what normal Kenyan is going through. They don't know. Maybe they make calls. If it's a matter of legal system, they just make call to the police officers. Wewe utaweza kuhangaika pale kwa police station kutafuta sijui P3 forms, sijui uende wapi, sijui photocopy this, sijui uende utoe pale. You know all those things that happen when you get an accident, all drama that happens between the gate and I will tell you, sometimes I got accident in Kasarani police. I was taken to I was taken to Kasarani police station. Now you see, even after I've been given release order that I'm now supposed to take my vehicle outside from the police station, everything is settled. Then you get to the gate and somebody tells you, and that is a police officer at the gate, tells you, lazima gari token at 200. I think those who have been to Kasarani police station sometimes back, I don't know whether it still happens, can attest to what I'm telling you, that once you get your vehicle there, whether you are on the wrong side or you are complainant, and when your vehicle leaves the gate, someone who sits at the gate, au maskari wa kufungua gate, It comes to me, tells me that, kuna 200 unafaa kuacha. Nauliza ni ya nini? Receipt unanipatia ni ya kazi gani? That is what is done, and you don't need not to ask a lot. It's happening. I didn't pay that money. I opened the gate myself and left. Now, that's besides. You've talked about how public money wasted and in terms of projects. And you've seen what our colleague Morara has been doing all around, which is a good thing, very, very good. I commend him for doing that. Now, I also want to invite his attention to Tana River County. You mentioned the word assault counties. Counties are always plagued with these disasters. Every season there must be a disaster. If not drought, then it's flood. If not flood, famine. If not flood, if famine, then we have locust invasion and all that. Now, you've seen each time this flood in Tana River, and this is very specific to Tana River. When this flood, you see all those kind of humanitarian support that are taken down there. Please, I would want to invite your attention again, my people. Look at the money that is spent for humanitarian support versus what ought to have been done to even to build permanent houses for these people. It is a cash cow, and I will tell you without batting an eyelid. Tana River is a cash cow, even for humanitarian groups or stakeholders like Red Cross, name them. All those people who come to do humanitarian support there. They don't want to put a permanent support. The government itself has built schools or hospitals at waterlogged places. Each year, these buildings are washed away, and they still put up structure in those places. You see, Red Cross and the rest, they are not putting up permanent structures. These days we have GIS to find out where the raised places that they can put permanent structures for these people. They don't do that. So year in, year out, wanamwaga mamilioni ya pesa pale. Milioni ya pesa pale. But ni biashara. It is biashara. Unaweza tengenezaje nyumba on a swampy place where this is the direction of the river or direction of waters. Each year hizi vitu zinakuwa washed na mnakuja bado kuput up another structure there. No one has raised this, and Tana River has made some billionaires just in regards to what they do there. So bro, mambo ni mengi, but those are some of the things I would wish to put to attention of my people here, that wacha wafanyikazi wa serikali au mapoliticians wakiwa wagonjwa, the first thing they need to do, kwanza admit them. Their insurance cover must be first approved hapo kwa hizo mahospitali za locals, hizo machuom hapo ndio waende waone what other Kenyans are also facing. That is one. Two, muangalieni how much is spent in these disaster stricken areas, periodic seasonal disaster stricken areas, and who is responsible. It is a game, ni biashara. I rest my case, bro. Thanks, Wanyama.
Thanks, Steve. That's quite deep as well. Gitonga, good morning.
Good morning.
Are you able to speak?
Yes, I am.
I like the clarity of your mic. Go ahead.
Thank you. I am mad this morning because on August 8th, the chief thief and the president of the caretaker government until 2027 reappointed or had these cabinet secretaries sworn back into office. And since August 8th, it's exactly 1 month and I think 2 days now, nothing has changed for the better. We have had fire tragedies, we have had blackouts, accidents on our roads are horrific, as in unajua watu sijui, I don't know whether they see that there are consequences to their incompetence. As in, this is not a joke. Running a country is not like running a kiosk. where you can just open and close and uende uchukue stock yako as you please. These are the results. We can see them. You can see that I think over the weekend, it was Felix Kosgei who was making, uh, directing that schools be inspected. It was Raymond Omolo, who is a principal secretary in Interior, who is holding meetings with student leaders. You wonder, where is the Minister for Education? All the Minister for Education did was issue a statement. We see our president is not even in the country. Today morning at 10 o'clock, the case regarding Bobby Njage, Nadim, and his brother, the Longtons, is coming back to court. Masengeli, the acting IG, is required in court. Your guess is as good as mine, but if I'm a betting man, he will not show up again, and nothing will happen to him. Why are we? It is so infuriating, and this, you see, I have no. It hasn't touched me personally because I don't have maybe a relative who's been affected by an accident, or my student, or a child of a friend I know is affected, but we are brothers and sisters, and these injustices, these incompetences to anyone are incompetences to one, or to all of us. So I all the government is doing right now is just, I don't know. I don't even know why they're showing up to office. I'm sure Leo Kilam, to all the PSAs and all the CSAs will show up in their office and pretend to work. But we are not, I cannot see. Hata hatutaki hata kuanza kuongea mambo ya ndani. The National Assembly is in session. No one is talking about it. You have seen that the Cabinet Secretary for Transport, Chirchir, has not said anything. And if people are raising an issue, it is only competent of you as the Cabinet Secretary to give us progress. Tell us what those 16 fellas who went to India found. It is that urgent. But there's so much to be mad about. I am hopeful. I am extremely hopeful because
Jose, just a second. Jose, please mute your mic. Gitonga was speaking. Gitonga, go ahead.
I still hold hope because we are here talking about it. We are aware. The civic awareness is off the charts. Our collective bullshit detector is being triggered every day. I love that for the first time on these timelines, we're not talking about personal scandals. We were talking about real issues that affect our futures and our present. We've seen what it has done to our pasts. Yeah, we've been suffering these last 10 years because of incompetence and theft. But watu wameamka, that is wonderful. I am hopeful because today, uko kotini, we shall have I think 4 former Law Society presidents. Akina Havi watakuwa huko. Yeah, we will have senior counsel standing up and saying, enyewe, if we don't speak now, we might as well keep quiet forever. So my call to citizens and to people of goodwill and to Kenyans is, maybe you might have kept quiet yesterday, but leo si jana. And if you stand up and speak in what small space you can, ukiwa hapo kwako kazini, ukinunua kitu, ukikula mutura huko jioni, speak about the issues in this country. Yeah. And the beauty is time resets. Time resets every day. So kama waliiba jana, leo pia wako na chance ya kuacha kuiba, but we know they won't stop. They have a chance to stop wasting our time and wasting our funds, but they won't stop. So I urge you to continue raging. I'm raging. I've just gotten to work, so I'm setting up, but I shall rage and I shall rage until the cause and our objectives are achieved. Thank you, Bwana Wanyama, and have a wonderful week and a wonderful day.
Thank you to Mr. Gitonga, and thanks for joining as well. If you're joining us right now, this is 15 minutes, top of the hour, 8. So we have like 1 hour, 45 minutes or less so that we keep the conversation going. And thanks, Gitonga, for mentioning that. If you're joining Sauti ya Mwananchi today, our only objective is civic education as Sauti ya Mwananchi team. And the objective is also to keep your rage going until any election that is going to happen. So keep all this information flowing and keep requesting for this mic. Keep attending our sessions. Keep attending our partners' sessions because we have sessions as well that are going on the ground. By the way, we support Morara Kebaso, just in case you didn't know. We support Kasmuel Makore. We support all those people on the ground. Shakira Wafura. Mkenya Daima. All those people. Please support them too as they endeavor to do all these things on the ground. 2 things we want to empower: activists and politicians. We are struggling on the politician side, and this is why we celebrate Morara Kabaso. Because again, for how long will we continue being people who cry on the streets? For how long are we going to be people who are just watching for the politicians to do wrong things and then we complain about? Isn't it time for us to actually place people there? And I just tweeted and said, Morara Kebaso is our opportunity to show these people, the political pundits, what we can do as the youths of Kenya. And not only youths, we are even asking our parents, all those people that care about good governance, to come up and support that guy. Whatever we want to ask him to correct, we will correct him as time continues. But first, let's empower him. Because again, he's standing up where most cannot stand up. And there needs to be a community created for him as well. So if you are a politician or an aspiring politician and a youth, please get in contact. We are still creating that group. Hatujaachana nayo. It's just that people have not been speaking and we are asking you, please stand up, speak. We are creating that community of youths. And any election that comes up, you will be at the forefront of this because we need decision makers. I see a couple of people have joined the speakers panel, so we want to get what their views are. Oseyo, can you hear me? Mr. Oseyo, you had unmute your mic before. I want to give you a chance. If Oseyo can't hear me, Judith Lihavi. Judith, are you able to hear me? Kosiki, Akoko?
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good morning to you too. Please go ahead.
Asante, brother. I adore you people. Let me start by saying, my dear listeners, we as youths are our own problem. Reason being, I've seen some of these politicians doing a hide and seek game. Politics is all about tyranny of numbers. We have the numbers. We'll be agitating every now and again. Kila siku tunalia. Yet we have the opportunity. Saa hizi ukienda kwa mochari utapata kwamba wale ambao wako wengi hapo ni vijana. Ukiangalia upande wa anywhere, hata wezi ni sisi. I only have one question that I need to ask ourselves. What can we do with this tyranny of numbers to ensure we live a decent life? We must be together. I thank God hii mambo ya tunasema ilikuwa ni financial bill imetuleta pamoja ambao hatuna mjaluo kabla yote. We are one country. Let's assure these people does come 2027 by one Okay, I would propose we form a political party that unites all of us. Na katikati yetu hapa kuna wale ambao wanaweza, but they don't have this opportunity. We can't live like refugees in our own country. But by the way, nobody is above the law, including Mr. President himself. Sasa kama IG is someone to appear before court of law na nakata, sasa mimi nitaenda aje? The other day I crashed with the county commissioner. Aliniita si niende nifanye. Nikamwambia kwamba the IG himself lazima aende kwa court. Asipende mimi pia na sisi taenda. So my brother, death is a common destiny to any human creator on earth. We will die. And death is death. Hata kama ukikufa kwa barabara, ukifa kwa ugonjwa, we will have to die. Na wakubwa wanasiasa ambao wanatusumbua hizi, hakuna mwenye baada ataishi for the next 50 years. Nobody. Hata kama COVID is, watakuwa mzee, including the president himself, atakuwa mzee. Something's happening. So, my dear brothers and sisters,
Kosike, please continue. I had to handle that. Sorry about that. Someone joined. There will always be people distracting us. So please, Kosike, unmute yourself kindly.
asante. Thank you. I was saying that Chapter 4, Article 55B of the Constitution of Kenya clearly, categorically, and enthusiastically explained beyond any reasonable doubt, and I quote, the state, so government, shall take measures, programs, which including affirmative action to ensure that youth are represented, participate in socio-economical, political, and other spheres of life. So it pains me, my dear colleagues, ukiona mtu sasa yeye mwenyewe anataka kuchukua country kama ni yake. We are living in a country whereby, by the way, we only have two tribes in Kenya, the poor and the rich. Where the poor becomes more poorer, the rich yani wanazidi ku get rich. Mtu ana hata 10 by 10 na mtu akona 10,000 acres of land, watoto wake wanasikia vizuri, na usiwezi kuongea. Ukiongea ati wanatumia ma CIDs mara ni vitu kama nini. No, we can do that. Let us remain united, my dear brothers and sisters. Tukae chini, tuelimishane, and this is the only thing that we can do. Mtu asiniambia ya kwamba ati kwa sababu kuna minister Shumba anatoka Luoland, so lazima ni nyamaze sababu the president has chosen somebody from Luoland. We can't move that way. Anyway, Paul, I'm very sorry. Asante sana, brother.
That's the anger that we need in the spaces. Usianze kusema sorry. That's the anger that brings us to do even spaces in the morning. So asante sana Kosiki. And yes, it is time for us to stand up as a people, not as tribes. Hiyo maneno ya tribe, by the way. We will need more spaces on it and more education on the ground because, again, Sauti ya Mwananchi, we want to push things not only on Twitter spaces but also on the ground. So it is coming and we shall speak. The word is shall. Ochani. Okay. Nakaa leo kuna shida. Judith Lihavi, I'm asking one last time. Are you able to speak, Judith? If Judith is not able to speak, data activist, good morning. Or is it good night where you are?
It's a good morning. Good morning, Wanyama.
Good morning to you too. Take it away.
Yeah, I thank you guys for what you guys are doing. We had a space with KOT till I think past 3 o'clock last night. Na niko hapa, I think I'm now a space addict. I am offended. Are you offended like me, Wanyama? Hello, can you hear me?
Very offended.
You're very offended.
Very
Ay, ay,
offended.
ay, ay,
Very.
ay. I woke up today thinking of the offender, the way he's recruiting fellow offenders, and the offenses that they are committing. And they just continue offending us. You know, it has to come to a stop. We are very offended. And today, I like the way you've said, what are you angry about? If I speak about everything I'm angry about, I won't stop. But what comes to mind immediately is the word on looting, even in broad daylight, and sometimes you don't even realize it. Let me give you a scenario. There is this scenario where we were told that trees have to be planted. No, on a day, everyone in civil, every head of civil of a department, of a government department, had to drop everything and go out there and plant trees. So it doesn't matter whether you're in interior, education, livestock, it doesn't matter. You're a CS, a PS, whatever, go out there and plant trees. So that day alone, the amount of money that was spent on that exercise was ridiculously high, because first of all, there was a lot of traveling up and down. The helicopters are buzzing up and down because a leader will travel from here to there to plant a tree. Yeah. And it's ridiculous. Why does a whole government department have to stop because guys are going to plant trees? And then what makes me even more mad is that we are told they want to plant 1 billion trees. Fine, well and good. That's very important. But there is no way of quantifying what has already been done. Yes, it's 1 billion trees. Mmepanda ngapi sahi? Are they 1,000? Are they 1,000,000? Where are they? Where is the accountability? And then with all the helicopters that were flying around, the fuel that has been spent, it means the cost of planting that tree goes up. What is the cost per tree? And is this really the best strategy to use? I think not. Because if you told me that we tell the schools, all the schools, primary, secondary, university, zote, they have a day, siku moja, ya kupanda miti. Yeah? What would be the impact? One day every week, you ensure that schools are planting trees. That way, you'll be able to know, hii shule ilipanda, by end of the month, wamepanda so many trees. These schools, there are so many schools in so many constituencies. Yeah? There are so many schools in so many counties. That way, you can quantify what is being done. And then the trees need to be planted in arid, especially the arid areas of this country. That's where they are needed the most. That's where guys are using firewood, and charcoal. And that is what is causing climate change and the impacts. They are feeling it the most. I don't see why we're going to plant trees in some other areas where there are already trees. The key focus should be the arid and semi-arid areas of this country. And that's where the poor of the poor are. You see, with that system, there would be accountability. But the way it is now, how do you tell what is happening? It's just a way of looting. In fact, in my view, you don't even need, you just need a declaration that this day every school does planting. No money needs to be spent. Maybe the money that needs to be spent is in buying the seedlings, the seeds. That's it. That's how you facilitate. And that target, when we set a proper target, per constituency, per county, and so on, we would be able to meet it, because guys would be held accountable. Yeah. So this government, honestly,
That activist,
yeah.
I want to engage you. I want to engage you on what you're saying,
Yes, tell me.
and the reason for that is, uh, let's speak some little bit of reality and fact finding.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
do you believe that we are even at 40% of our utilization of our county or devolution?
What do you mean 40%? Be more specific. Utilization in
Like,
terms of.
is it implemented? How are we getting what we intended? Utilization means, are you getting what you intended by doing something? Like, let's say we intended to achieve something by devolution, right?
Yes.
Do you think we are even 40% of utilization? Like, do you think even 40% of what we wanted from devolution is working? Or, I mean, it's happening. Sorry.
Okay. That's quantifying devolution as a metric becomes difficult. I'll do it this way. Ask me in terms of education or health, or the building of roads, how many kilometers, and so that way it becomes a bit
The
easier to
reason
quantify.
the reason why I am sticking the reason why I'm sticking to devolution is because to the common wananchi in the ground, they are not
Yes.
sectorial. I think you will have to agree with me in that.
Okay.
For them, ofisi ya governor and ofisi ya governor. Ofisi ofisi ya CS ni ofisi ya CS. They don't really know who does what
I
and
see where you're
at what
coming from.
time.
Yeah, okay.
And rightfully so.
Yeah.
Do you get me? Rightfully so. Because you're not supposed to be concerned to in value creation, you're not really supposed to be concerned in the nitty-gritties of things.
Yes.
You are convinced that a certain public office was created for this, or a certain instrument was created to achieve something.
Yeah.
So, is it or is it not? And that's the reason for the common wananchi, because us, we are very blessed, or you are very blessed to be in the position of saying, I can dive deep and look at these matters.
Okay.
But for the majority, they just care about hii ni devolution, inafanya haifanyi, huyu ni MP anafanya chenye MP alitaka ama hapana. I think you get what I'm asking.
I'm getting.
Like,
I'm getting now.
generally, yeah, generally, what is it going to? Because if we don't quantify, then we really have a problem. That's where the problem starts from.
Exactly.
Because if you can't quantify and tell them, see, budget kutoka kwa national government ni hii na ilikuwa inatakana ifanye hivi.
Yes.
Us who are not, we are diving deep into these things. We are not able to quantify. How are we going to tell the people on the ground that unajua hapa kuna shida ama hapa is successful? I mean, generally speaking, even in terms of devolution, look at what the Muranga governor is doing. He is not pitch perfect.
No,
but look at what he's doing.
He's doing serious work.
And that's what quantification comes in.
Now
Yeah.
I like
So quantification ndo maana nauliza that question.
Good. Now I then in that case I like that question. Yeah, because it is working and it is not. Do you know why? Why I say that is because there are certain powers that be in government that don't want it to work. And there are those who are pushing back who want it to work. Why do I say that? When you look at the numbers, let's say from in terms of minerals and expenditure, revenue that the counties make, every single county, in my view, can support itself. I don't see why a county, some of these counties, like Nairobi, for example, has to get funding from national government to operate, to pay staff. I don't see why it can fund itself. And so there are certain the powers that be want that dependency on national government to remain. So they keep frustrating devolution. And so in that regard, this is what I personally am doing about it. People need to know about them. I like that you've mentioned the word budget. People need to know about the budget making process in the counties, because over the last few weeks we have had the annual development plan for different counties, the public participation. And that's another thing I really like about the Constitution, is that it mandates you to participate, in these things. So what I'm doing is that I do an analysis of the control of budget reports on a county level, and develop presentations per county. And then the plan is to start doing presentations to people. Let people know, how is your money being spent? How much has been collected? Where is it going? Is it going to recurrent expenditure, personnel emoluments, development? When it goes to development, where does it go? That way, you can be able to say where your money has gone. Now, why am I using the control of budget reports? Because they are more current than the auditor's reports. And the control of budget reports are up to date as of the last quarter. Like now, we have up to the first 9 months of this year. So, with your permission, I will be sharing with you the Google Form link for Kiambu. I want to start with Kiambu. I want to sensitize guys about Kiambu. What is going on in Kiambu County? Because in the counties that I've analyzed, something is very, very clear of where funds are going, where they are being misused. There's a problem with staffing. The staffing costs in the counties are too high. So it begs the question, does the new management hire new people? Is there looting going on? Because sometimes that you find those funds are so high, yet the people on the ground, the county staff themselves, are not getting paid. So what is going on? Where does that money go? It doesn't add up. And then there are when you look at the report, there are certain recommendations that the OCOB declares need to be done. But they are not. We need to push for that. Anytime there's a public participation on the budget process per county, we need to ask these questions. So my mission is to inform the people about the budget implementation process by doing a budget implementation review and presenting. And if various civil society organizations or organizations, well-wishers that want to help fund the process even better, that way we'll be able to reach even more people. And we can write reports with their help, with their assistance, to help people know about this. Because the more we know, the better off we are. For warned is for armed. And this is the one way I know we can help the masses. Because it really pains me when we see people voted with a good conscience, but they voted for the wrong people. You can't talk of development when the people that we have voted in, who are voted in now, are a wheelbarrow government. And that wheelbarrow government is just about looting in wheelbarrows. A wheelbarrow government is just pushing. And now we are forced to push them so that we can get that development. So, Wanyama, please follow me. I can inbox you the details. Then we can see the way forward on how to pursue that. But thank you for the question.
Thanks, that activist. And yes, my DMs are always open. Guys, me sinanga CJ, you need to do what? My DMs are always open, and it's always cleared after we've understood each other. Cleared. So hakuna kitu itapatikana kule. So please keep sharing the information, and we've really gained a lot from people in different areas sharing information, including where people are going to be arrested. Now we are 40 minutes into the hour. Na tuna cruise very nicely. Thanks for you taking up the spaces and also sharing what your opinion is. Today tunaongelea about what are you mad about? It's just a general space because man, ni Monday blues. Jana tumekuwa tuna inject left, right and center kwa Morara space, kwa Americ space, kwa whatever space that you wanted to be, Kasmail header space as well. Leo we are just on chill R&B. But as well as we continue, we don't want to lose the momentum. And that's the whole purpose of Sauti ya Mwananchi. Not lose the momentum. And the momentum not in the sense of tunapiga watu ku Twitter left, right and center. No. We bring you live and creative and practical and accurate information. Then from there, we urge you to also speak about the same on the ground, wherever you are. So it takes a lot to prepare for this, but either way, we also take notes from what Sauti ya Mwananchi is on these spaces and on the ground as well. So don't think like, oh, I'm just speaking, etc., etc. Normally we time the speakers, but today, tunataka tukusikia what you have to say. So pick up the mic, come tell us what you think. Binti, I see you here. Binti is my co-host. Binti Africa, good morning. Binti, can you hear me?
Hi, Wanyama. Yes, I can. Hi, good morning.
Morning to you too. I know. Let me give you a minute or two to come up to the co-host as we continue. Kijana ya acha nisiongee kama mzungu bana. Kijana ya town. Me, I'm a boy from the village bana. Kijana ya town. Are you able to hear me? Give me the mouth.
Habari Wanyama, mambo vipi bana?
Poa. Karibu sana to the space.
Can you hear
Take it
me? I
away.
was driving to town, but I am listening keenly, and I'm happy on what you guys are doing, keeping the fire burning. And then umeuliza swali mzuri, what are we mad about? We are mad about everything. Ama ulikuwa unataka nisalimie watu?
Salimia watu and then we go to the next speaker.
Yeah, I mean salimia. Okay, nimewasalimia lakini I'm here, unipatie time after that speaker, si ndio?
Sawa. You'll be able to speak. Thanks so much. And by the way, thanks to everyone who joins these spaces, that they are driving, Manze, you guys bless us. And even the photos we get in our DMs, people showing us and videos. Man, you guys are the G's. Motivation. Nikiro. Hii jina ni ngumu bana. Brenda,
Yes,
Nkirote.
good morning.
Oh,
Good morning. I can
Nkirote.
hear you. I'm
Good
going to work.
morning. How are you?
I'm good. I'm going to work. Yeah. There's so many things to be mad about today morning, especially the one that I've heard. Gari za kuzima moto zimetumwa kwa Morara. That's one thing that I'm mad about today, but I'm going to work. Yeah. The next speaker, I'll speak when I'm
Thanks a
done.
lot. Uh-huh. Sawa. Karibu sana. And by the way, thanks a lot for joining as well. And you mentioned something very important. Manze, I'll preach this gospel. Morara is our chance as youth to show them what it means for youths that say enough is enough. We will never get this chance again. Avoid this thing, man. I even gave you another example. The older millennials had Ephraim Jenga. Ephraim was doing a very good job using Facebook. Literally. The guy was crunching numbers, showing stalled projects, showing hapa mnadanganywa, hapa mnaenda hivi. Guys left him to the wind. He was literally like carrying a behemoth of everything. And if you think I'm joking, go to Facebook and check him out. Personally, I stopped using Facebook for my own personal reasons. On Twitter, go and check the Ephraim Jenga account. Ephraim Jenga fans account. He's not on Twitter, but there is a fan account that brings his content from Facebook to Twitter. Go check out the content of that account. It was showing everything, including the stalled projects, the theft, the whatever. He is amongst the people that actually taught people about budget making process in Kenya. Then what happened after that? People just left him to the wind and he disappeared. But one thing he mentioned recently is he offered advice to Morara and said, If you don't really get people to come behind you, you're likely to turn out like me. So, guys, please, let's not leave this one to go. This is one chance, and this one chance we can show them, like literally, Kenya is our business. Social Democrat, good morning.
Morning, Wanyama. How are you?
How are you? I'm well. How are you today?
I'm doing very well. I think first and
Take
foremost,
it away.
let me appreciate all of us who, in one way or the other, has taken their time and energy and resources to engage in active issues that are facing or bedeviling our country at this time. It is quite important that we all hold on to the bread of what we are fighting for. As Wanyama is saying, you could notice some of the factors that might have made Ephraim to actually not get the right energy to push. And one of those is the fear that our parents who are old millennials have. Even up to now, we are struggling to be in a position to convince them the current issues that are literally bringing the country down, but they are doubting. And so it is good that we are in an age where we are more civilized enough to know what should be right and what should be wrong. I think part of the reason why Ephraim had to go down is because there was no social exposure to this extent in this century or this era that we are in. And of course, the level of education was also down. I think those are some of the common tools that we currently have. And I'm calling upon all of us that wherever you are, in one way or the other, you can. Let's support one another, support Wanyama where you can. Hata kama ni kutuma ya cabbage, please do. Support KOT, support Eric, support Morara, and let's support one another. I think the main point here is we have one goal, and that one goal is to ensure we have proper governance. Not going too much into issues. What I'm much mad about is that we have our students currently getting admitted to universities. I think some are also graduating, like University of Nairobi, and mine is to be mad about the muddy, bad governance systems in all sectors we have in the country. Because if you noticed, actually, just go to the auditor report for the last 2 years, or even 3 years or 4 years back, actually from 2018, and you'd literally go down and start crying. You start crying. The reason why you should start crying is, our healthcare sector from the county level to the national level is completely down. I'm coming from a medical background, a very serious medical background. Our healthcare system is completely down. You saw of a governor that is alleged to be in UK carrying 675 million. That is an allegation. I don't want to come here in KOT space and say it is true, but if allegations could be true, then some of those are some of the things that currently should make us really worry about where we are heading to. In a county whose level 4 hospital that was initiated in 2009 at Athi River, it still remained stalled with almost 50% complete, but remaining stalled completely. And then worst of it all is she can lie that the money was meant. Wow, how do you collect money in this country? And then it is finding its bank account systems in another country and very, very miles away. So those are some of the questions that really you wake up in the morning and you start asking yourself, I'm a medic. you know. I'm also thinking about our young medic graduating from University of Nairobi on 20th next week on Friday. 300 doctors. I'm thinking about how they are going to be taken through circus, the same way the previous ones were taken through very difficult time until they had to sleep at Afia House. Very, very strange things, you know, in a country that is known to be the UK of East Africa. It really eats your mind. You know, you cannot even sleep. If 600 million, that is almost it's almost 1 billion, which is equivalent to paying all the intern doctors in that county, pay almost all the medical officers and healthcare workers for a period of almost 1 year is in another country. That should make you mad. I think that should make you mad. And in the same county, you get roads are stalled that even heading to dispensaries, women, and I'm coming from a very strong medical background, women are walking several kilometers when they are almost giving birth, pre-hemorrhages and all that along the way. They end up dying before reaching the hospitals, and the child is hanging below the belly. That is the situation we are talking about, because I've worked in so many counties, and I can tell you, if the government cannot take care of the life of her people, then this is the situation we are in. And some of the common characteristics of a system broken down and looted down to that extent is what now you can see money circulating outside. And it is not only himself. If she could be a governor and the money is flowing outside there, you can imagine of a president. And that is why that presidents keep on flying from one country to another, from one country to another, because the money is flying everywhere. When he's on the side, the money flies, he deposits, and every one of them, every one of them, from an MP, you get an MCA, they have gone to benchmark in another country, Kuala Lumpur in India, they have gone to benchmark, I don't know in which country under the sea, and then the money get lost. The funds allocated for education just get drained like that. I'm really mad about our healthcare system in this country, because now we have children who have, if you have been to University of Nairobi Medical School, you know what I'm talking about. It is never too easy for 7 years. And then after that, you get into the field and you get frustrations, and almost majority of us die every day because of what you have gone through, the resources, parents wameuza kila kitu, you have nothing, and you are the only person might be seen in the whole village to change that village. And then you get frustrations here and there. You cannot be paid. You are paid 70,000, a medical intern. An MCA without even a national ID alone is paid 300,000 per month. Those things really keep me off my mind. I can't just sleep imagining our medics going through hell on earth here in Kenya. The other thing that is also keeping me mad enough is the issue of this funding model thing. And it is really keeping me even more mad when you hear a minister saying that he has formed a task force. By the way, you should know that he has formed a task force that is going to look into, let me ask you, everything affecting our country as stipulated in our constitution is supposed to go through a public participation. Any decision that the government is making, as far as it is going to affect a whole country, has to go through a public body. What task force is this minister forming at this point? When we have money spread through the corruption pipelines, all the way from the presidency, having a bursary, governor, a bursary, MP, a bursary, MCA, Ward Development Fund, inclusive of a bursary, an MCA who is actually, managing or just, two locations is having a bursary. And the same MCA is living and has constructed a 50 million home in a village where the neighbor cannot be able even to afford 1 meal per day, using the same looted money, using the same bursaries, the same village. A children who is a medical student who is just reporting now cannot be in a position to get money, even 30,000 to report to school. Those things make me very, very mad, because now we are living in a country with a lot of crimes. We are living in a country with a lot of crimes. And that is why I started by saying the reason why Ephraim had not to make it further is because there was no unity of purpose. Today, Wanyama, and sometimes when you hold these spaces, please put your number up there. We cannot understand. And we want to encourage you that you should be hosting these spaces so that people can be able to talk. And the only way possible is to support you. At least you buy for cabbage, you buy for. We need to have that unity. Today you are told that there are some firefighters' vehicles in Morara's home. I am persuaded that we can provide enough security to that family and that home and that lady, that young lady, with her 2 children. Without even Morara's with even Morara's absence. We all youths must come together. If there is any of us who is pushing an agenda to change the governance in this country, otherwise we will go all be slaves. Look, if you look at this country, I stay in Syokimau here. If you just, if in the evening hours, in the wee hours, especially when it has rained, you will meet so many Rwandan young children who should be developing their country, selling mandazi na maji, hot water. We are heading there, and not that they cannot be able to. We will be in Tanzania doing the same thing. So we really have to ensure that we remain united. We remain united. I don't care. I've always said this. I don't care how much I will send to Anifa. As long as my money is reflected at the end of the month, I'm ready to send to her what I can send to her, send to Wanyama what I can send to him, send to KOT, send to Morara. I don't care, and I don't need accountability. Hiyo ni pesa equivalent to kupeana kwa sadaka to this, pastors who are killing us back, pastors who have opened shops instead of churches to collect money, and by there stopped going to church because of that reason. People should be in a position now to support one another, and that is the most important thing. Let us hold on to one another, whether you are in another country, whether you are here in Kenya. Ile support tutapeana kwa wanyama iko na maana kubwa sana. If those vehicles were literally seen, and if it is said, Wanyama, please, let's develop a poster tuanze kupost, let's tweet. We don't want to. These are the proper. We have a system, a governance system, and the current regime actually got into this power through propaganda. That is why it is difficult to implement any project. And they are using the same propaganda every day to change the mindset of Kenyans. And you saw now Itumbi is in that advisory council just to spread propaganda. We are the best propagandists, I still believe. And if there is anything that would happen to Morara, we should start questioning right now. In fact, poster itengenezwe, we start circulating. Let us stop this kind of nonsense that this government is doing. The other thing, apart from that funding model, and that is one thing that is eating my mind all through. There's so many children, even in my back village, still calling me, hey, we have not gone to university. Hey, we have not gone to school. And I'm here thinking that a governor is in somewhere in UK with 675 million. You know, and that money can pay fees for 150 for the whole year students or high school. And it really, and it is almost all of them. It is almost all these governors doing the same thing. Yet we have bursaries all over. Why should this bursary not just be taken to education ministry, and education become free? Even medical students, during our time, we used to pay 26,000 for the whole year. Now they are paying 500,000. I think it's a quote. Some are paying 300,000 at the UN. What kind of an answer is that? And then we have money circulating outside the country. The other thing that is really making me shed tears where I sit, how can 70 pupils just vanish? I was also in a boarding school. How can 70 students? Because I imagine me sleeping in that corner. The fire is we have fire outbreak, and I'm still sleeping there. And out of that, in that that house where we sleep, that dome, 70 of us have gone. We cannot be traced. Sasa hiyo ni nini? We are living in a country that it is very difficult to understand what exactly is going on. Where are our children? Wako wapi? There is no way by any metric you can tell me that 70 children have disappeared. What is the size of that dome? And how comes the fire was burning to the extent that 70, kwani hii fire inakaa aje that in 1 minute 70 students were all ashes? Watoto wako wapi? Those things are really keeping. And that same school lies in a road. Before you get to that school, it lies in a road. Morara was there yesterday. It lies in a road that was commissioned by our current president to be constructed 6 years ago in 2018. The fire was burning, gazing down that dormitory for several hours, and there was no firefighting equipment there. This country is a crime scene, and I'm sorry for taking time. We just need, there's nothing that we need like becoming united. And then we must be very innovative. We must be very innovative in propaganda. We must be very innovative in what we do, everything we do. I am telling you, Morara is really, really trying. This government is after his life all the time, after him every time. He's really trying, and he's very innovative. You cannot trace why his next move is. Will I support him? I think he has. I think I have that number. If you want that number, hiyo number unatuma pesa. Just send them. I don't even text him. Just send money to Morara so that he can get away on paying his security, on paying the young people who are working with him. And there is something he raised yesterday. We need to have an office so that Wanyama, when we talk here, when Jackton talk here, whatever I've raised, Wanyama can go to that office and present. It is eminent. And that is a unity that we now need to start thinking about. And everyone who is doing everything possible, Akina Casmuel, Akina, the Kenyan home, and anyone who is doing the best for this country, whether you are outside the country, whether you are inside the country, please let's try the best we can. Let's support one another. These people who are putting their life online, Akina Wanyama trying to host, I have received threats personally. Like yesterday morning hours, I was receiving phone calls. I don't know whether they knew that I was having a civic education. I was receiving phone calls, strange phone calls. You don't know. And so I'm encouraging all of us. There are so many things that makes me sick in this country every single day. You know, you can't mention all of them. Go to City Mortuary today. Go, yes, just go to City Mortuary. Go to KNH. You will notice.
Social Democrat. Malizia, umekasirika sana lakini please land. Please land.
Wacha ni land. I'm just encouraging all of us that let's have a unity of purpose. Let's push together. Let's support one another where we can. Let's try the best we can. Thank you so much.
Asante sana Social Democrat. But they keep coming to the spaces. There are people that when they come to the space, unajua hapa injection inaenda ku happen hapa. So keep coming, keep bringing that energy, keep articulating these issues. Na kwa wale ambao man I've been hearing about this thing. Oh, Wanyama, create something, put a number there, we contribute, put this. We will see. As I always say, we will see how to do the contribution. Because for me, my greatest pleasure will come from civic education getting to the place where it's supposed to be, and that money should probably go to proper civic education, especially on the ground, and supporting all the people that are actually doing something on the ground. So mimi hapo, I'll have to find a way, and we will definitely ask people to support that on my own volition, because again, kuna watu wengi sana wameamua kufanya whatever they are going to do, but msisahau they depend a lot on one, motivation from your people, because if you keep who are demoralized, they might just wake up one day and say, by the enough is enough. If you remember well, there was a point where Morara almost gave up, and we really shouted that people need to stop crushing the guy. And hizi vitu ndogo ndogo huwa mnafanya tu, unaona huku left right center, kuna watu the way on this timeline and in all social media, kazi ni hii: anaamka asubuhi, ananunua bundles ya 10 shillings, anaingia huku Twitter, anatusi mtu, anatoka, anaenda Instagram, anatusi mwingine, anaenda Facebook, anatusi mwingine, anaenda haya, ana log off. Wewe uko hapo umekasirika, you know who is this guy, what they are doing, blah blah. The guy doesn't even know why you, if you're mad or not. Yeah, alikuwa anataka tu kuwe mad na ameenda, anapiga shughuli zake. If ako na shughuli, ana login na saa ngapi? Saa 7, anakusi tena ama log off tena, mkutane tena jioni, a login, atusi, like the people. Hii ndio language anajua ya social media. Tusi na kuja kuchokozana. So sometimes pia you can counter with words of affirmation. I'm not saying that is what people depend on, but it's also because these things get to you. I assure you, if mzee unaweza
Wanyama, are you speaking? Wanyama, can you hear me? Can you guys hear Wanyama? Okay, so I think something is happening with this connection. Hopefully the space does not drop.
Top of the hour again. It's 9:07 and nataka kuleta anaitwa nani, binti Afrika. Sifunge space KD. Acha kelele. I see your emojis there. Speak KD. I'm not closing the space. It's just Binti who's taking. Once again,
Wewe
good
Wanyama, by
morning.
the way, sijui kama ni mimi. Good morning, good morning. I don't know if it's just me,
Binti,
lakini your
I don't
mic
know
is
why I
so
can't hear
bad.
you on my end. But I'm sure, guys, give me 100 if you can hear Binti. Okay. Binti, take it up. I'm sure one way or another my connection will be. I'll refresh the space. So take it up. And assure KD no one is closing the space.
Sawa, KD. I hope you can hear Wanyama. Don't worry, he's not closing the space. I'm just here to hold it down for a few minutes. But yes, so thank you for joining us as usual, for being here with Wanyama for the past 2 hours or so. This is Sauti ya Mwananchi, where your voice matters. Your voice has to be heard. So please, as usual, pick up the mic and speak to us. The question is, what are you mad about? Me, I'll tell you, by the way, I'm very mad about the lack of value for human life that we're seeing in our country right now. Obviously from years and years ago, but recently, from this movement, from the protests, from the massacres, from the fires. Kwanzaa, these fires have been happening over the past 2 or 3 days. We have a very dysfunctional system currently that operates and just allows and just has it's okay. It's just okay with young lives being lost. It doesn't matter. Like it's like they don't care. They don't care about the value of young lives. And I'm talking as young as these kids in these schools. First of all, how do you send beans and rice after a fire in a school? Is that what our lives are worth? Is that what the lives of our kids are worth? Beans and rice? Like, are you crazy? First of all, fires has been a very hot topic of late, and I've just seen Moira's post saying that there was a fire truck at his like whatever he was doing out on the ground. So these fire trucks are available, but they just come out. I think he said something along the lines of they're nowhere. Hold on. What did he say? He said that they were headed nowhere to do nothing. Yeah, that's it. They're headed nowhere to do nothing. Yet when they're needed, they're nowhere to be found. We actually don't of our country. And I've said it before multiple times, until we all have a value for human life, we cannot move forward. Anyways, let me not get too mad for now, because I'll still come back on the mic. KD, seeing as you're giving emojis, see you go first.
Wacha kunichokoza. Yeah, I was just saying the guy wasn't audible. That's it. Why am I mad? I'm just mad because I think you're being taken for granted. And this morning we should be talking about our airport. There's a big distraction, but I'm gonna maybe put my sentiments in more of a reflective note, in the sense that just this past week we've lost, let me say, 70 Kenyans, and we don't know what gender they were. We don't know what tribe they were. We don't know of what party they were. We just know they spoke one language. The families are speaking one language of grieving. 3 months ago, we lost quite a couple of a number of Kenyans. Nobody can actually say they came from a certain tribe. We all know they were of various groups. Age, we know what generation they were in. Religion, we don't know. Backgrounds, we do not know. The reason I'm saying this is because it's very unfortunate that as a Kenyan, we are only getting to unite in our indifferences, in grief, but not to strengthen the country. And this is the only place I can call home right now when I come to these spaces, to listen to you, and you to listen to me when I speak, regardless of whether I'm rich, poor, Kikuyu, Kamba, of whatever background. It doesn't matter. So this is the only place I can call home. And the way Wanyama has said, instead of throwing tantrums to each other, let us find some form of cohesion amongst ourselves, that when I come to this place, I will think of the people who are not speaking on these groups, because I don't know what you're going through. I have no idea what the 3 months have been for you. I have no idea what you're going through right now. I don't know how many of your assets you've sold to pay off your hospital bills because of that person who you was forcefully put in ICU, maybe by some rogue state verdict. I don't know how many people you've buried. I don't know how many people in your family have gone missing. And I don't know how many mothers are crying for their children just because we don't have the answers. And the only person who can give you that spirit of saying there's a better tomorrow is me. So let us be sensitive, regardless of how much we know. We all have one enemy. And if you have to waste your energy on speaking that which is affecting me and you, you know, it's the best way of going to live. I've kind of changed the way I look at things from the perspective of there's so many guys who speak out their minds, but I want to look at it from the perspective of how does my utterance affect the person next to me? Because you all have different backgrounds, and my problem may not be your problem, but in a way it affects you directly. You know, Ruto may not be from my tribe, but he's affecting you, and the kind of pain you're going through, the same pain I'm going through. And if I put that as my number one factor to-do list on the desk, I believe my solution will also be a favorable solution. It's going to factor you, and it's going to favor you in some way. So I think it's just my petition and prayer that we be a little bit sensitive on the things we say, how we speak to each other. Getting a mic is very easy. Wanting to talk is free. We have freedom of speech, but let us not be loose with words, because it takes 30 seconds to make a very restless statement that we may end up regretting for the rest of our lives. And I just want to condone with especially this most recent incident that happened this weekend. I know of two of my friends who've lost their kids. And I think what is mesmerizing many people is when you're told some kids went missing. Like, that is the biggest puzzle ever. How that school is not in a jungle. You know, the fire doesn't seem like it was a big inferno to just like take out everyone. And then you're told some kids were burnt beyond recognition. But why I speak is because I realize we have a lot of distractions. Adan is taking over our airport. And Kenyans are very smart. We've already seen how the cards are being placed. Let us focus and not lose our target. This is a very busy week in Kenya. We all need to keep our eyes open. And just know you are all I got. You are everything I have. And without you, this Kenya is useless. I am not of any worth. So I'll leave my sentiments at that. And I'm not really having a good day because I think I feel the pain in almost everyone's voice. And I've not been that badly hit. So if I try to think of those who have lost their loved ones, I can't even express the kind of bitterness they're going through. I just pray that God gives you strength. Thank you, and keep the faith.
Thank you. Thank you very much, KD. We all feel it. We all send our condolences to all those families that are going through anything and anybody that's affected by it as well. We shall not relent. We have to keep going. George, thank you very much. I can see your hand up. Let me just check. Wanyama, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, now we can hear you nicely. Sawa, thank you. Okay, George, please go ahead. Why are you mad? Or what are you mad about even? George, if your mic is, I think your mic is open, but we can't hear you. Can you guys hear George?
I can't hear George. George?
Yes, Wanyama.
Okay.
Is that better?
Binti was asking for you. Now we can hear you. Binti, you can
Okay,
hear
great.
him, right?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you now. Go ahead.
Thank you. It's a sad day. It's a sad day that we have lost lives. And just like Hillside was not enough, we are seeing more fire. And I'm just asking myself, what have we overlooked? What have we overlooked? And please, what is it that we have overlooked? Not the government, not so and so, but we as Kenyans, missing pupils, missing students in a school. I think there are questions to be answered. Secondly, we've talked about the funding model. And what I'm only happy with is that those who were placed in the wrong bands can appeal for the decision. But for how long will we continue appealing? I'm advocating the decision to have further conversation on the funding model. A funding model that is sustainable. A funding model that indeed reflects the truth on the ground. But more importantly, education is the only weapon that can really change this world. And therefore, people need to get this, not just education, but quality education. And I therefore urge those who are going to be on that panel, please, public participation. And more importantly, let us go to the village. Let's walk around the villages. And these town hall meetings, which do not really take care of those in the village, should stop. Let people go to the village. Let them people, even these spaces that we have realized can bring as many people as possible at once, over 1 million people. Let Kenyans meet and deliberate on this issue. I think we need to leverage on the technology. And therefore, for those who will happen to be in that meeting, let them consider such a spaces, because then it has been tested. We have seen it before. We can use that forum as well to give our views. Finally, I want to speak to the youth of this country. We take some time on these spaces. Last night, I was on the space for about 3 hours. And Wanyama Uh, we were there with you, KOT and Morara and all that. I want to ask each and every youth and any other person on the space, if indeed it's true that you can earn from being online, please let's do that. We are thinking of 2027. We are thinking of a change, but this change requires resources. We need sustainable funding for us to succeed in whatever endeavor, not just in the political sphere, but in everything that we plan to do. If the youth and Wanyama, I'm appealing to you, we, your audience, I think you need to teach us something. That coming here, let it not just for the social, let it not just be a social gathering, but also we need to be entrepreneurs. Let us create the content. Somebody said Morara is simply a content creator, and I was smiling. So are you envious that he's a content creator? Can you do something? We all have the spaces. We can be in these spaces. I therefore urge Onyama, for your team and your audience, let them make something out of this gathering that we are having. And that is my submission this morning. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, George. I love listening to you. actually speak with so much conviction, and you're very right. Thank you. Thank you. I'd like to introduce a new co-host. Hi, Ayo. Good morning. Can you hear me? Paul Githinji, please mute your mic. Ayo, good morning. Can you hear me? Just mic check.
Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ayo the Sixth. I'll be co-hosting alongside Binti on Wanyama Space under Sauti ya Mwananchi. I'm glad to be here. And let's kick it on. Thank you.
So thank you very much for joining us. I'd like to go to our next speaker. Please, Francis Nganga. What are you mad about? And by the way, Ayo, what are you mad about the next time come on the what do you call this thing? On the mic. Francis Nganga. Hi, good morning. Francis Nganga, can you hear me? Going once. Francis? Nope. Okay, so Judith Levahi. Can you hear me? Hey, nyinyi watu. Can you guys hear me? I'm just speaking to myself. Judith Levahi. All right, sawa sawa. Let's go to
Very, very well. I don't know why others can't get you.
yeah, maybe it's their connection. I'm not sure, but thank you very much for confirming. Social, yeah, Democrat. Thank you. Okay, so let's go to who's left. Simon. No, he's gone. Vibe Connections. Hi. Vibe Connections. Nyinyi watu sawa sawa. Paul Githinji, you had your mic
Hello.
open a few seconds ago. Oh, sorry, Vibes, you're here. Okay, go ahead,
Yeah,
please.
good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning
Can
to
you
you
hear me?
too.
Yeah, I hope everyone can hear me. Mine is just to speak a few. I'm really mad about, I would say everything. I'm mad about the movement itself. I'm mad about the country itself. Like these guys, these politicians knows very well how to divert our minds. That's why they are creating these infernos, just to create diversions. Look at the movement. This movement was so committed to a cause, but now we are like all divided. They know who needs to take a bite. They know we are poor. They know who should be compromised. I would advise that this movement should focus not only on civic education on matters politics, but on civic education on matters economical. We should be like somehow generative. We should be like not be relying to politicians for being funded to do something. We should think of how anybody should generate something to fund ourselves. We should be the donors ourselves. And that is my take. Have a good day, everybody.
Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. Hey, that was very short and sweet. Thank you very much, Vibe. Guys, don't forget this is Sauti ya Mwananchi. Want to hear your voices, so please feel free to pick up the mic. Come tell us what you're mad about. Today's just a space to talk and hear your voices, which, as usual, always matter. Thank you to our host, Wanyama Wafula, co-host Ayo the Sixth. So, yes, let's go to who would I say next? Paul. Paul, yes, you had your mic open. Good morning. Paul Givenchy. Paul Givenchy, can you hear me? Okay, sawa sawa. Let's go to Magati.
Yes, Binti Africa, good morning.
Good morning to you too.
For me, I'm mad at many things, but today I'm mad at three things. Number one, the fight of influencers here in X. It's now alarming because yesterday I was annoyed by the spaces that were being hosted here at space at X because at first we had a common goal. But now it has come, I'm now sure that some influencers here at X were paid to divert our attentions. There's no way our topmost influencer, who is Morara Kebaso, can post that he is going to host a space at 8 p.m. 1 hour after the post, Amex posted pia anaenda host the space at the same time. Why are these people diverting our attention? Number two, the fires that are consuming our schools in Kenya. Now is 3 schools burned down in Arasha, Isiolo Girls, and the other boys' school in Mayo. What is going on in our country? Why is the government diverting the youth's attention? Now they want us to change the topic that our schools are being burned down. And I saw some boys yesterday cancelling the demonstration about the school funding, the university funding model for the process that were to be done today to give the government dialogue. How many times we are going to give this government a dialogue? That there, how many committees are going to be formed? There have been so many committees, and their reports from that committees are not being taken in serious. Number three, Harambee Stars. How can we draw with Zimbabwe, Harambee Stars? And then this head coach, Nkama Ruto, he must go for Harambee Stars. He's playing games. He's blaming the referee, the field. Then anaenda kusema that Kenya are not talented. Mbona basi akuja kutucoach kama we are not talented? So maze, Kenya is a rotten country. I don't know why I woke up in Kenya today. Thank you, Binti Africa.
Thank you. You know, sometimes you get so mad that you just start laughing. But yes, you're right. We need to be moving together as as one, may I say. Let's not allow these division tactics to get in between us. And this Harambee Stars, by the way, Wanyama, I was telling KT earlier that we need to have a space for like sport manenos, let's just dissect the sports federations and see what's happening in that industry right now. And yeah. So right now I'd like to go to Kina Ram. Hey, Kina Ram D. Hi, good morning.
Good morning Kenyans. Mine ni itago tu na hiyo kitu mmeandika hapo juu, jambo Kenya. What are you mad about? But there's one thing I'll say. The day mob will do justice to one of the leaders by stoning them, that's the day Kenya will wake up. Good morning and have a good day.
Hey, okay. Short and sweet. Thank you very much, Kina Ramdi. Okay, then I'll go to Hussein. Hussein. Hi, Hussein.
Hi, how are you?
Not very good, thank you, but we're surviving.
Yeah. So I think for me, I'm mad. One thing that I'm actually mad of mostly is the fact that we still have Ruto as the president. I don't even know why. Like, I don't know why. Why this man should not be in that place. So there's so much things happening in space actually at the moment. Like, there's so much. They sell out. There are those that are trying to do against the people that are doing good. There are those people who are doing a good cause. They're trying to keep up everything live, but there are those that are trying to diminify them. So I think we need to amplify ourselves and also push up the movement and also what we're trying to fight for, because I think we are fighting for a legit thing and something that is real. But we have those that are trying to go against it. So they don't know, but what I'm trying to see at the moment is, as far as the politicians are doing what they're doing, but I think people are gathering in a different way, because anger is building every part of the country based on what things are happening. There are those that are being caught taking money out of the country. There are those that, like, every scandal we are seeing is just politicians doing that and that. So people are gathering. As far as we are doing this, I think it's a good thing what we are doing, but people are gathering. So at one point things will come. But honestly, I feel at this moment we shouldn't have Ruto as the president, because there's nothing good that is doing for this country. Thank you. I rest my case there.
Thank you very much, Hussein. You're actually very, very right. I'm getting DMs. People are very mad, but I'm not seeing you here speaking, so I'm mad about that as well. When you can't come to my DMs and then you just hiding yourself in the listeners. But it's sour too. I'll listen to you and I'll take your DMs to sour. Anyways, Ayo, are you sure you're not mad about anything? Because Mimi, I've reached my limits and I want to pass back to you, co-host and host. Things are heating up on my side, so let me just leave you guys to it. So Ayo and Wanyama, back to you. Thank you.
Kindly confirm if you can hear me, because I've just switched networks. It might be going down anytime. Perfect. Gentlemen and ladies, it's a fine morning, and this is the day the Lord has made. We'll rejoice and be glad in it. And there's a lot going on in our country, also online. And it was evident, yesterday, whereby we now know who's competing who, and who's paid by who, and who's not paid by who, and who's doing this from the heart, and who's doing this because they have some specific benefits to gain. And really, I'd love to say this. Sijui kwa nini watu wagopa Americs kwa timeline. I think today I was just throwing some jabs at Pipi. I'm like, sutago chali, unamwogopea nini? Mwambie anatu divide, kwani ni kesho. Akitublock, kwani ameblock wangapi? Na kwani uko na followers wangapi wenye bado wanataka kusikiza vitu wanataka kusema? Because at the end of the day, these people that we fear so much, we might give them that, so we stamp so much authority on them, yet they are our major sources of division. I remember there was this day whereby we had decided that Tata was going to host a space alongside Casper. Before I knew it, Casper was holding a parallel space from Okiom Tata. So unakuja unajiuliza ala kunaendaje hii town una get. So yesterday our own well abled Morara was busy hosting a space and promised he's gonna host a space for the citizens. Then there is when Amerix decided, I have followers, what an host space, which to me really hosting a space with three people speaking, it's never, but sisi ni wale will just go and join on those spaces. But I want to tell you guys one thing. Let's remain on course. We know why we are here. We know what brought us here, and we do what you gotta do to make sure that things work out at the end of the day. So regardless of who hosts what space, hata kama ni watu wawili tutaenda kwa whoever we know holds a brighter future for us. Let's just go. You pay allegiance to who you wanna pay allegiance to. Sorry, I'm walking. There's a lot on my background. So that is what I want to tell you guys. So regardless of who's hosting what space, because they'll always be there. People will always host parallel spaces. But the course has to continue. Hata kama tuko na listeners wawili, those faithful listeners tutaenda na wao. From where I come from, there's a saying that goes, gari la moshi linaenda na wenye wako tayari. So tutaenda na hao wenye wako tayari. That's said and done. Over to you, Binti. Binti, are you there? Or if Binti can't hear me, probably
Sorry. Yes, I'm
I,
here. Yes, I'm here. I was
perfect.
just away from the phone for a second. Sorry. Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
So
Well,
do you want me to throw the mics to speakers?
Yeah, these guys have all spoken so far, so I want to actually just pass back to Wanyama. Wanyama, I'm not sure if you want to close the space currently or if you want to carry on.
Okay. So
Mnakuanga na jokes sana. Angalia the swali inaulizwa ati Wanyama, do you want to close the space or you want to continue? Yeah, people need to start respecting me on this TL. Ayo, how are you? Where are you? Are you being beaten? Are you being beaten where you are?
Niko town. No, nobody's beating me up. Life is lifing. Adulting is adulting, and we are moving on regardless. Yeah, tuko town.
Okay, guys, we are closing, and I see one more speaker. Hey, Lamek Makworo. Mr.
Yes,
Lamek, can you hear me? Please speak, and then we close the space.
you good? I'm also doing well.
Yes, we are good. Please go ahead and speak.
So you wanna close the space?
Guys, kuna kwanga na speakers wako serious na kuna wengine it's becoming a joke. So let's do this. I'm going to highlight everything people have come to the space and given. And as always, our own senior brother Mabonga has arrived, as always, at 20 minutes to closure. Guys, a
I
round
was
of
gonna say
applause for Mabonga.
this one just comes in when it's supposed to closing.
Let's give him a round of applause again. Mr. Mabonga, welcome so much. In fact, we couldn't survive. We couldn't survive without you. Anyway, guys, in the evening, the space is being hosted at Mabonga Marvin's handle. And in the morning, it's hosted on my handle. Now, I want to summarize what you guys before I bring him to speak because ameamuka saizi after hosting a whole nighter. So, there are 30 things you guys have highlighted today. And as always, we tell you, Sauti ya Mwananchi is progressive, and we always bring what you've said at the end of the day. That's why we sometimes limit your talking time because ushapitisha point. And Sometimes it's repetitive as well, so but it's in an engaging format as well. So just a second.
KOT, good morning.
Good morning, young lady. How are you?
Hey, I haven't spoken to you in 2 hours. I feel like I haven't gotten my daily dose of
No,
Mabonga.
I know you are so addicted, and so I'm here. Talk to me, please.
Sisi, we just want to know what's making you mad this fine morning.
I have slept for like 2, 3, not more than 3 hours, and I dreamt of this space. I knew Wanyama could host, and so nimeamka mbio, so I had to log in very fast and come here on the speakers panel to thank you guys for being with us, me, Binti, and a few individuals who did that a night run. Pipita huita Pipita anaitangaje ile space home
Home
run with
run.
the Pipita, yeah. And so we did a night run with with the people from diaspora and people in Nini Nyoko home, and so we had
Good
good
morning, my fellow
discussion the
Kenyans.
entire night.
Na habari zenu kama mnanisikia.
Good morning, Daniel. Mabonga was speaking. Just please mute your mic for a second. Thank you. KOT, carry on.
So I think niko tu na difference ya 3 hours from the space yenye tulikuwa nayo na ya sahi. Wanyama sijui alienda wapi ama alikuja kusikiza kama anonymous. Wanyama is a guy mwenye anaweza fanya vitu zingine za kimaajabu. So Wanyama, ulijua aje nilikuwa na space nikalala saa 11 na I never saw you on the space. You might have been there
Umeona,
anonymous.
have you seen my last name on this TL? Inaitwanga nini? Repeat that name.
Oh, okay. Ghost I never seen anyway.
Oh, I was looking at Wafula thinking, what does that mean?
Anyway, wacha niwasikiza. I don't know mko mmefikia wapi. I can see my good friend in red, Anthony is here. Anthony, you can come here and say hi to us. Jana nilijaribu kupatia mic nikashindwa. Like I was trying to approve your microphone. Oh, Anthony amehepa tena jamani. Kwani umekuwa ghost tena? Anyway, back to you Binti. Mimi sina mambo ya kusema bana. Siku hizi sisemangi vitu nyingi.
Ati a man of a few words. Sawa. Anyway, thank you for joining us. Let's go to Daniel. Daniel, hi.
Good morning, hi, na habari zenu.
Sinzuri, by the way, Sinzuri. What's making you mad? What are you mad about?
I'm mad about the rate we are losing our young children and our young men and young ladies at the school fires left and right. It is not a good trend. And people, I want to say something that might not be so popular, but please just hear me for 1 second. Unajua, there's 2 ways to take over a country and to take over a place. One is through military action, and the other is to just let the system fall within itself from the inside out. Yours. And I do believe wholeheartedly that that is what China is doing to us, and we're asleep in the midst of a war. There is a war for survival going on. I want to express it very clearly that China has no room for its citizens. And I believe that any Chinese that leaves China is told, don't fucking come back. Go find your way somewhere. And at the rate our young men are dying, soon that country is going to be left to foreigners. And it's going to be so expensive that Kenyans are going to be relegated to nothing more than workers. Another unpopular opinion that I wanted to voice, and hear me and think about it. Mr. Gilbert Masengeli has been accused here lately of snubbing court orders and not going to court. You know, soldiers and men in uniform, they follow orders and they act on orders.
Mr. Masengeli, bad as what he did or what was orchestrated under his authority and command was atrocious. He was acting under orders from higher powers. And I personally applaud him for refusing to go to court, for standing up and saying, fuck you, Ruto. I would like and I wish if he could find like-minded individuals and like-minded officers to join him. Because people, I personally believe, I don't care if every man to a T voted against Ruto at a ballot box, somehow he will win. I don't know what the path forward is going to look like. Actually, I do know, and I just think it's not going to be a very popular opinion. Ruto is not going to leave the freaking tit easily, and it may take some force to get him out of there. And at the rate our young men are dying, we should be ready to take that force and do. Look at how many people have died over one man, dude. One fucking man. Is that son of a bitch so fucking untouchable? Like, honestly, is he so fucking untouchable that thousands are dying over one person? Anyway, that's what I'm mad about this morning. Thank you for listening to me. I'll go back to listening.
Thank you, Daniel. Hey, listen, I just feel like our country at this stage, the loss of life that we've experienced over the past century, like I said when I first joined this particular space, the loss of like the lack of value for human life, yani nani bo, why everything would be so in line in our country if we just cared enough about each other, like if we just valued each other's lives even more. Anyways, as we come to a close, Mabonga, do you want to say what you're mad about? Ama tuendelee tu.
Hey, looks like you want to hear from me the whole day. I'll call you. Anyway, acha tuendelee tu.
So you calling me? You don't even have my number. Hey, well. But anyway, thank you very much. Guys, it's been real. Thank you very much for tuning in. This has been Sauti ya Mwananchi, hosted by he will call himself your favorite host, lakini that's very questionable. Anyway, by Wanyama, sorry. Co-hosted slightly by me, slightly by Ayo the Sixth, and Mabonga's also here as part of the Sauti ya Mwananchi team. We also have two other co-hosts, Kowino and Rabia. But before I carry on, I can see that we have another request here, so let me just accept that, and please, let's get some injection into this space. So, Nonini, what are you mad about this morning, evening, whichever one? What are you mad about? Hi, by the way. Allah, kwani what just happened? Did he drop? Okay, so Wanyama, I'm gonna pass back to you. All I was saying is thank you guys to all our speakers that have tuned in, to speak to us, to tell us what's. Oh yes, I can. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, it's good morning from this side as well. It's like 3 a.m. in the morning. So what I'm mad about is I'm offended, Bana. And I think this is a challenge to Wanyama, Ayo, KOT, all of you. I think it's about time you guys like have a space with the president of LSK, Faith, and ask her some difficult questions, because how are we having governors spending almost 9 billion on court cases? I do court cases daily, in and out. Can be unalipaje malawyer 9 billion. 9 billion. Do you know what 9 billion is to pay a lawyer? So we need LSK and Faith to hold these lawyers accountable. Ma lawyers ni nani hao? Wanasaidia watu kuembezzle these funds. You need to start asking those hard questions. I'm mad. 9 billion to pay a lawyer. Aje sasa. Good morning.
It sounds like you're having a very bad morning, and I agree with you. Well, Wanyama, there you go. Now you have two topics, and Mabonka, I told you sports. Now we have holding lawyers accountable, like these LSK guys. Well, if it's not LSK, whoever it is, whichever lawyers are trying to, do us dirty. So thank you very much. I don't know if you guys want to give your final thoughts. Ayo, if you can speak, just say goodbye to people before we close the space down, please.
Okay, me for mad. I'm offended. That's just it. I'm offended, and I hope people keep on getting offended. Niko kwa mad, poleni.
I'm offended too, by the way. Wanyama, I hope you have good speakers. We have the connoisseur of I'm offended too, so you can't even let us down with bad sound system. Vile Mabonga would let us down. So I'm gonna pass back to you. Thank you guys, like I said, for tuning in, for talking to us, and for listening. So we're gonna meet here again at 8 p.m. KOT, are you going to be back home? Or are you still going to be on the streets? Because we need your space to be open 8 p.m. As usual. Then tomorrow again, we're here with Wanyama at 7 a.m. So Wanyama, thank you very much for hosting us. Back to you. And yes, we shall speak later.
Binti, before you give it back to Wanyama, you just asked me a question and you never gave me a chance to answer. Whether we'll be having a space or no, or I'll be on the streets. I can be on the street and still host the space. Never doubt my capabilities. So 8 p.m. we'll be here.
Sawa, Paula Superman. Whatever you use to fuel your body, I also want it. Please inject it into mine. I need something to keep me going. Okay, Wanyama, thank you very much. Back to you.
As a host as well, let me reserve my comments on what KOT said. But guys, we told you me and Mabonga don't like each other, but we have to work together. So we appreciate the effort that he puts in. So good morning from us, and it's always a pleasure to host you guys and bring you a platform where you can be able to share good, credible information, accurate and justified anger. Now, from the conversation we had today, this is the 30 points that you guys raised before we continue to the final part. Now, the first point you guys raised and what you're mad about is corruption. There, rampant in both public and private sectors. The second one is the message you've had coming in. Hiyo ni message ya pesa. Asanteni sana. I'm very happy. I'm excited. So, si pesa nimetumiwa na nyinyi, but I'm very excited. Asanteni. First was corruption. Second is economic mismanagement. That's that the borrowing, high debt, blah blah blah. That's the second point. The third one is inequality. There is high levels of income and service access inequality across different counties. Mmesikia hapo about the SL counties, etc., etc. But they huwa mnashare very valid points. As much as mmekasirika na nini, you guys, hey, maybe I need to make you guys angry every time. The fourth one is political patronage. These things like often jobs are often awarded to people they know based on political allegiance rather than merit. Naona hawa watu kama hawa wazee wamewekwa pale ni as if Kenya does not have any other people that merit to do us good. Electoral malpractices, concerns over integrity of elections and voter bribery. Unajua 200, 300. Joshua Okayo shared something on his timeline when they are moving around with Morara youths are asking for money. Ukianza kuitwa chairman kwa ground usifikirie inakuja bure. Hiyo jina inakuja with something. You will need to cough up something, and a lot has to change, and I don't know how you're going to change. Even Shakira Wafula complained about it as well, like wasi wanauliza do, like we bana, umekuja ground umetupiga hapa words bana, unatupea nini? That's the it makes things sad, but anyway, tuendelee. 6, policy inconsistency. There is differences in policy direction causing instability in sectors like agriculture. By the way, Charlene Ruto was in Kigali. Mi sijui nani alisema huyo ni youth leader, and she even had the guts to. If you check my timeline, I posted that thing. She even had the guts to promise the Ministry of Agriculture here collaboration with Kenya News. I don't know who elected her to be. Anyway, tusonge mbele. Lack of accountability, weak mechanisms for holding public officials accountable, because tunasema auditor general, control of budget, tunasikianga tu hizi story, but what's the accountability? What action are we doing? Judicial interference, Masengeli sijui ameitwa wapi kidogo, kuna so the judiciary wakitaka hao watu from the executive arm, they are very forceful, but when the executive is actually doing something well, hao ndio wanakuja wana cartel. Mlisikia Mumias Sugar iko na cases over and over and over and over and over. It's just not coming back to operation because of what? Cases. So there's also judicial interference. Nonini has also mentioned something here. Why do you think governors are spending a lot of money on lawyers? Why? Protection. So let's keep you in courts, man, guys. Court ni expensive. You guys don't know. Being in court is a very expensive affair. So if you see them spending big on court, it's because they are trying to handle something. So judiciary as well is there to blame. Kuna shida hapo. So sometimes tunaweza sema oh, twende kotini and all that. If you've been through the Kenyan judicial system, oh my god. Saa zingine haki, mnyonge hana haki. Na hizo koti sometimes anyway, we'll have other spaces on that as well. Kuna land grabbing, kuna tribalism, you guys have spoken about. Ghost workers, exactly. Ghost workers kwanza, najua jina yangu ingine ni ghost, lakini saa zingine I think of renaming myself, but nicknames are nicknames, so ngumu. But ghost workers are a problem in Kenya, na ghost schools. Posta guys, Posta has a lot of ghost workers, a lot. Kuna mtu tu monthly anakula hapo hivyo pesa. Kuna mtu tu anakula monthly hapo from ghost workers. Can you guys hear me? Am I just speaking to myself? Okay, thanks. Kuna
We can hear you very, very well. I hear you very, very well.
okay, asante sana.
You
So
are ghost workers.
sawa. So hapo posta bana, angalieni hapo posta. Kuna reason why posta bana. What does posta do apart from ukitaka kufungua kampuni or something of significance with the government, wanakuuliza postal address? When was the last time any of you used posta? Anyway, tusonge mbele. Kuna scandals, but unajua posta ina employ a lot of our parents, a lot of as well. So and the other revenue line for posta is kuna hizi inaitwanga nini, huduma centers. So huduma center is one of the biggest client for posta as well. So it's a very complicated issue. Kuna poor infrastructure development, kuna health sector mismanagement. Kuna mtu hapa aliongea about the health sector vizuri sana, akaongea about hizo vitu za funds get to where they were supposed to be. Kuna mwingine aliongea about education system failures hapo. By the way, thank you so much for the youth to come to this place and speak about the new university funding model. I am always encouraging bana, nyinyi majenzi, nyinyi youth, young millennials. Me personally am a young millennial. It's time to take up. Now, I often share the statistics that we have on these spaces, and we can see 25 to 34-year-olds, na 18 to 25 hao ndo the majority of this space, but pia tuko na watu wenye wako mpaka 45-year-olds etc. Haimaanishi they are not there, and probably I'll share a little bit of that when we finish this before we close the space. But my point is this: take up, own up the conversation, own up the actions. It's not enough to only say. So ukikuja ku highlight what your issues are. Unaweza kuwa tu unasema zee hatusikii, but unaongea tu hivyo kwa ground. Huku upali wako, you're not saying anything about it. So pick up, speak. Now, by the way, when the table is prepared and they say come talk, end up on Oseme, by the way, I'm here to speak about the people that I represent, or I'm here to speak about me. I'm not here to also speak about you. Because again, in this table of converse, Kenya ni ya kila mtu, irrespective of the age bracket that we have. Kenya ni ya kila mtu. So the oldies will be there, the young ones will be there, everyone will be there. And that table, everyone has to be there. The oldies have been around longer than us. Now they know a little bit here and there, etc. They will always use what they have in their hands. And what they have in their hands is that experience. A little bit. But they doubt us on consistency. Hapo ndo wanafikiria it's not there. Actually, there's this big misconception that Gen Z are not consistent. They can be. Show them the purpose, show them the way, and see the magic that happens. And by the way, they are going to use Sauti ya Mwananchi to show you they will be consistent. Ndio kuna ma issues, I've personally experienced it, etc. Even in workplaces, kuna hizi issues, etc. On patience, consistency, etc. But ain't we all learning? So we are all in a journey of learning. Now, kama uko na leadership skills, please come up to these things. Stand up, come, and let's. Man, kuna time ingine pia sisi tunakubali we need capacitation, even when we are bringing you the spaces. We need capacity. Sometimes I ask for information. Sometimes I have to meet even enemies. Sijasema nimeenda kukutana na President Ruto. Please, msiende hapa kwa TL mwanze kusema Wanyama alisema amekutana na Ruto. We, mi nimesema tu capacitation to bring you better shows, better platforms, etc. So hizi vitu zote zimekuwa highlighted na tukufinalize ni vitu kama environmental degradation. Wase wanaongea about, unajua tunakuja tu hapa tunaongea about land. How is that land good when there is deforestation, pollution? Logging inaendelea tu, enda mwangalie nani anauza timber from Kenya sana. Security challenges, kuna public procurement irregularities, fuel and energy sector issues, taxation policies, bureaucratic red tape. Kama ujui inamaanisha hiyo ni excessive and unnecessary bureaucratic processes, slowing down service delivery. Huku governor akitaka kufanya kitu ni process refu and a lot of stakeholders, and it was done that way wakifikiria it's going to be good. Shida tu. Neglect of devolution principles. And I think it was data activist, I asked a very specific question on devolution, because guys, we are not going to have a good country without devolution working. Hiyo asahauni. So at some point, as much as mnapigania national politics, devolution is where the thing is. Now one day we shall revisit what the first time governors did. Watu ndo waliua, waligula watu. I think some of them, they don't even need the rest of their lives. Top of the list, Monsio Paranya. Huyo ameweka cooperative societies. I laugh when people speak about Kakamega County. Oh, one of the best, yes, he built some things. Go check out those things in Kakamega County currently. Please go. And then muone what is happening there. And then check out how much was stolen from it. Unaona what DPP did for him to become a cabinet secretary. First time governors. Lack of transparency, ineffective anti-corruption measures, water and sanitation. By the way, water and sanitation, Nairobi, watu wanafikirianga awangaliangi juu ya maji, lakini Nairobi has one of the biggest issues ni water and sanitation. Then agricultural sector neglect, healthcare funding, youth unemployment. Hapa kwa youth unemployment, Yesu. Anyway, top of the hour 10, tumefika time ya kufunga space. Tutakuwa tunaongea for very long because other people also listen to these spaces, the recorded version of these spaces. Kenyans, fellow Kenyans, please be bright, be smart. That's all I'm asking. When these opportunities rise up, please do not have that thing called imposter syndrome. Tafadhalini, hii kitu ya sijui I know best, I stand best, I do what. When that thing comes, me I would rather have a talk with KOT. Akikuwa MP wa Kimilili huko, hata kama namchukia, all of you know nachukia hii kijana anaitwa Mabonga Marvin. But I would rather akuwe hapo MP wa Kimilili hapo, tuanze kukimbizana na yeye from that point. He is an MP of Kimilili. When I ask him afanye kitu ni kwa sababu yeye ni MP hapo Kimilili. But saizi sasa hapa tunasaidiana tu maandamano. I'm even worried siku ingine watapiga tu firimbi hapo close to the estate. Unajua cops might be looking for the guy and he is very good in dodging them, but shida ni moja, wanaweza tumia firimbi na the guy thinks ni maandamano and he goes because he likes it crazy. But sasa saizi, see, that's all we have, that's all we can use to call for accountability. Not unless watu kama kina Morara, kina Marvin Mabonga, all the people that have said I want that elective position. And by the way, the list is continuing, so kama unataka kuwa an elected leader, be it 2027 or be it the time that any opportunity will come up, we are creating that community, so reach out as well. Sijui kama kuna wengine wanataka kumalizia before tuende. Mabongo, umepata your voice ama you still want to wait at man of few words? You still want to wait to evening?
I'm a man of few words and less affection. Anyway, guys, in the evening, 8 p.m. tunakutana huko mali tunakutanaga, and of course we'll be driving that show. Leo tunapatia wanyama hiyo kazi yote the entire night. Utapiga show leo wanyama. Leo utapiga show. Hey, jamaa. Utapiga show. And of course tuenda kutafuta topic moto. And topic zetu was na revolve to around Ruto must go. We identify problems, try to solve them. So, najua mnapenda sana kusikia sauti yangu. Binti is trying to ensure that I speak on this space. Wanyama is also there trying to, bana, hii sauti jamani, najua mnaipenda. Nitawapigia simu.
Guy, that was not me. See me.
Guys, it's me, your
Haiko ikiwa
favorite
hapo.
host. Your favorite host Wanyama. Oh, Keuti malizia.
So guys, mimi sitakuwa nadhulumiwa na Ruto. Alafu pia kwa hii space nadhulumiwa na wanyama. Wezi ni mute bana. Anyway, thank you so much guys. Tukutana hiyo masaa ingine bana. Nataka nilale kidogo. Alafu ningoje masaa 5 hapo masaa 6 niingie uwanjani huko. Tunaenda leo kustrike bana. Hiyo mambo ya new funding model. Unajua comrades si atuamkangi mapema. Ngojanga matai masaa 6 hapo ndio inawaka moto hadi saa 10. Tunapigwa tiaga saa 12 tunarudi home. Sawa.
Thanks so much. I think it's time for me to play the anthems and then we call it a day. Meet you in the evening. And thanks everyone who's following this handle as well. Please remember to follow Mabonga's handle as well. Thank you for empowering these platforms. Thank you for even giving us all the information that is needed. Nyinyi wase, you have really created what we have here today. So please keep creating these handles. Follow Ayo the Sixth. Yeye ndiye alilaunch ngoma. Mabonga, you are better at describing. Nani alifanya nini? Before I play this offended too. Mabonga, please explain.
Hii song ya offended no nini na the group walienda studio wakatoa. Alafu sisi tulienda kwa streets kwenda kuandamana. alafu watu walikuwa wanapiga wanachukua videos kidogo. Sasa Ayo alianza kutafuta hizo videos online, akaziweka pamoja, alafu akika hiyo wimbo in the background. Alafu sasa mimi na Wanyama, we launched this song, we really pushed it. Mimi kama mnadhani na wadanganya, angalia pinned tweet yangu ni wimbo gani, nini iko hapo. Angalia saizi before Ayo pia enda a change yenye ameweka. Angalia pinned tweet yangu ni tweet gani iko hapo, angalia vizuri, and then mtajua nani alilaunch hiyo song. Mimi na Wanyama we launched this beautiful song, and tumekuanga tukisikia vizuri sana ikiimbwa hapa. Ayo alichukua videos zenye tulienda nini huko kwa street, tukapigwa tear gas, akasynchronize, alafu akaweka hapo background. Nonini walifanya kazi safi sana ya kutoa hiyo wimbo. So the message is home. Mimi na Wanyama, we are the one who launched that song on this platform.
Asante sana Mabonga, and whatever other information you hear is rumors. Please tweet it as rumors. We are very indebted to this. Small Littles, Nonini, Isasizo na Willy Oeba manze. You guys, hii tutaicheza mpaka it grows on people. So ladies and gentlemen, this is offended too.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm here to address you. Mr. Speaker,
Again, I sing because we've been holding spaces on this. Schools are not built from people paying school fees. It's built from capacitation and etc. Those things that you've been wasting money building universities all over the country instead of bettering the current education. Like seriously, kuna places that the university has been built, it was pure corruption. People just wanted to eat money. Because a university with 100 people, really? Is it really serving the public good? Guys, it takes a lot to build a university, billions and billions, and then 100 students showing up to that location. I think they would have been better served at another location, which is that other location is We've seen with the ASAL counties, huge amounts of money being sent to that side. And by the way, people need to stop being tribal and being sectorial and being like, oh,
I don't think, madam,
that is
going to be palatable
vibaya and all that.
So if I was
Since
you,
devolution
madam,
started, the ASAL
instead of wasting
counties,
your
Wajir,
time
Mandera, all those,
trying to pin this daughter on me,
getting
I would
huge
suggest you go
amounts
to
of
the real
money
father
from other.
and do not disturb me again. How dare you think that my first child is going to be a girl? How is that possible? I'm a real man. Real men don't get first girls. No, what are you talking about? you know. Sometimes you people are funny. You people just make me laugh. Hey, madam, take this 25,000 and ufanye DNA. Ikipatikana ni yangu. Mimi ndakuwa natuma upkeep. But this is not palatable to me. I swear this is not something I can do. I've paid on mrlambistic.com but not working. Ebu check ama ni side yangu tu. Wataka ni check aje saa inaona check in between the show, bro. But for me kusema hivyo nimetuma hiyo message kwa msee mwenye na work na hiyo mtandao. But for now what I need is just the chums. The visual, you can still access it from Facebook and X. So for now, it's just the culture. Kibe. For now, it's just the culture that I'm trying to inculcate inside each one of you. That tutakuwa tunalipa kuona hii show. That's all I'm trying to do. So I'm popularizing it using these other channels. Tumia akili mtu wangu. But these are bugs na fix. I agree with you. Thank you very much. Felix says, Kibe, you should also acknowledge why comedians hard work. No, that's not for me to acknowledge. That's for him to acknowledge for himself. Yes, he lazima sasa acknowledge. If you're a comedian. That's a... Anyway, now wewe pia kuna akili ndogo. Didn't you hear me saying why is one of the best comedians we have in the country? What more acknowledgement do you want from that? Watakaniana nimkulie bibi ama nini? You want me to go? What do you want? What do you want from me, my guy? Can't understand these people. Oh, I also saw a video of Salasia trying to defend what I talked about YY. Can I find it? Really? Your video, Salasia, where could it be? So, message from Fundi wa Mitambo, very nice, very sharp guy. Msemaje. Oh, I'm just looking at Diabs here. Nike ponongolo fe. I'm working on it kwa wenye hawapati link. Okay, yeah. So we're working on it. We're still working on it. Just be patient. We are working on it. Let me look for Salasia. Salasia.
Hey, so guys, nakula hapa ni muziki. Hapa nyama hapa na ugali kidogo. So guys, nataka kurespondia kwa sisi watu wa town. Sasa sisi we cannot manage them. Nataka niambie wewe nani rafiki yangu Kibe ya kwamba days are gone when people from down wanatoka kwa vijiji, pia sisi tunajaribu kupata na pia tupate. Usifikirie wewe peke yako ndio unaweza faulu kutaka usiano wazuri warembo peke yako. Pia sisi tutawezana. Baba
Wewe nao umepata upside down Peter Salasia. Mr. Makeki. Mr. Makekis. Mr. Makeki, what I said was majama waocha mukikam Nairobi hamwezani na mademo wa Nairobi. Okay? You cannot, not in any way, form or fashion. Hamwezani nao. Okay? So musikuje kuanza ku try out mademo Nairobi. Watafanya mu lose your mind. How do you say that in Luya? Watafanya amborashi na good news. They will make you constipate. Watafanya ukose fahamu wewe. Salasia unacheki sahi utu tudo unashika twa parliament. Tuote tutaisha. Ukiendelea kufraternize na wasichana wa Nairobi. Wewe, by now if I was you Salasia, mimi ningekuwa natafuta today mtu waocha, tunakaa weekend, tuna ship your back na mimba. Achana hizi jokes za Nairobi. Nairobi, oh my friend, Nairobi, oh. Cheki vile Nairobi inapepeta au mas socialites. Cheki kademka Kate actress. Anaitwa Kate actress. Vile ameokota wanaume bonge chungu nzima. Juzi ni jana ama leo nimeona video ya hata ndaitafuta. Msichana aitwaje yule? What's her name? Betty Chalo. Have you seen Betty Chalo and her new boy? Oh boy. Wacha nionyeshe nani Salasia. Let me show him Betty Chalo. Salasia nafikiri ni joke. Salasia, ngoja 1 second. Wacha nikutoe. Nilete Mbete.
The boy is looking fresh. Anna, look at Anna. Mchongo. Lines. Shout out to Alex.
Salasia, I hope you're learning something, eh?
Energy, stay far away.
Ponytail.
Who did that? With Ivana's rubber bands, same as me.
Hey, pombe mzuri. Yeah? Wait a minute. You them one Mercedes Benz black. Aha, Kenodia. Kenodia. I hope she has let you drive it once or twice. I hope she has let you drive it once or twice, Omera. Yeah. Salasia. Hii mchezo ya town bwana, wezane nayo bwana. Wachana na hii mchezo ya town wewe. Wewe nimekwambia import mademo wa ocha. Na sio ocha, ocha ya kwenyu. Wale wanajua wewe ni otero. Hao mademo wa Nairobi Joe, they don't care. Hao mademo wa Nairobi ni sugu au deal na Masai ametoka kuuza shamba. Wewe ni nani? Do you know how hard it is to negotiate with the Masai? Peter Salasia. For your own benefit, please leave our Nairobi women alone. Our Nairobi women can only be handled by either very strong Nairobi men or Nigerians. And even these very strong Nairobi men, Ganothia probably was supposed to be a very strong guy. But now look at what happened to him. Mchezo wa town ni huyu. Kuja hapa Ganothia. Oh yeah, it had delayed, but delay is not denial. Mtoto akililia wembe mpe, let him be. A fool and his money are soon parted. According to Sinclair. Ivanson anasema Betty slippers. Hey, Betty. But Betty knows how to live her life, bro. Anasema hii kitu chapisheni. Itakulwa na mchwa. Chapisha. Kijana Ben 10 kuja hapa. Umeenda, she went and manufactured. Maybe she put that guy through high school. Oh, hi. Is high school? Are you almost done? Are you almost? Oh, I'm in Form 3. Okay. She's like Form 3. Okay, I wish you the best in your exams. Let me know when you're doing Form 4 mocks. Oh, hey, Mom, I wanted to go get my ID. Oh, I'll send you something. You go get your ID. Betty, that day she's just, Puanguza, yeah. She must, bro. I'm piggy, and I'm saying this because I'm trying to now to be on the right side of things. Mom, imagine it's such a wonderful day. I've just got my ID. Now I can drink in bars. This is like, oh, where are you? Huduma Center, GPO. Wait there. She parted ways with Sarah. Who, is still doing target piece. But Selena, no, mtu wa bitterness is just knocking at your door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Okay, so okay, okay. Let's move on, gentlemen. You guys are petty. We don't need to do more than that, do we? kuna video niliona ya the puny and I completely forgot to pick that video. But the puny was being fed at his birthday party, and was being fed by Sabina Chege. Sabina Chege is a member of, she's one of those people who've just been in politics for the longest time. You know, the one with short hair, everybody has been wanting to bomb her. Hey, Sabina Chege is so sexy. I think she's the one. Feeding the puny. Hapana, wanawake. Sa hiyo the puny amezingirwa na hello, hey, happy birthday! It's a good birthday! Kibe, you're a puny. Acha nitafute hiyo video kwanza nione ile yako kwa mtandao ya X. The puny birthday bash. Hamna kitu bro. Watu wa X nikaa they don't follow this news anymore. But where is it? We'll find it somewhere. But it's not important enough to talk about, to show you. But it was bad. It was very horrible. I saw those women, and you could see them. It's like, you know, it's like, have you ever seen lions that have caught a very small antelope, and they don't want to kill it immediately? They're just playing around with it. When I gonga, kochapa, wewe, kocha, chesa, unaanguka usianguke, bana wewe, roti. Hey! Kasema hapana bana. There's no man around the puny. Amsaidie. These women are going to finish him, my guy. The puny maka ameanza kuwa dark skin. Ni vile manjoti zinatoka full time. Hakuna replenishment. Hapana, the puny. The puny, me, I am here for you, my guy. If you need help, blink twice. If you can. Unajua kuna vile unaweza kuwa wezi blink. Hata hiyo nguvu ya kublink itoka wapi. He's being drained, my guy. Hapana. Hey. Hands off the puny. Kama tulifanya hands off our elephants. Na siku hizi mademo nono they feel better in and around the society. Let us do a petition, gentlemen. Let's not watch one of our own go down like this. The puny, tunafaa tumsaidie. Tufanye petition, tuandikie DCI. Tuambie DCI, mnawacha the puny aende tu hivyo. Hata nyinyi mko serious. DCI aren't supposed to be working for us. Nyinyi mkiona kitu kama hiki happen, this is a travesty. Hiyo video mkicheki DCI mfanye upelelezi, mwitume forensic, muulize the puny alikuwa in his right mind, because kama yuko in his right mind, then we need to prosecute those women. Hey, what I saw, you have never seen. Did it dawn? Did it dawn? It was horrible. Horrible. Samuel, sasa angalia Samuel na mengine matusi zile nzito. Ati ukipeleka ulimi yake kwa pH test increased high alkalinity. Akitoa ulimi hivi na akaka mkojo ya scorpion. Tumsaidie huyu kijana tafadhali, tumsaidie. Kama akina Gachagua na the president wanasaidia watu, hata sisi east side where I am the president, tumsaidie huyu kijana. Kama mnajua pale huyu kijana yuko, before ajimalize, before ajitoe uhai, before ajinyulie, tafadhali mtu mmoja anitafutie huyu kijana niletee. Na if possible kama wanaweza kuja na waiwai, tufanye intervention mara moja. Hizo prayers zikuwe tu prayers moja. If you can find them at the same time walete, then I think it will be for the best and for the betterment of our country. Are we together? Alafu sasa tutafutie hawa mama mavijana because hawawezi kula kijana moja seriously. Tutafute wakisika watatu, kazi yao ikuwe ni kuhang out hapo hivi hiyo street ya nini ya Parliament hapo. Wakisi wa strong watatu wanalishwa vizuri, alafu wanapakwa marolon nini wanatembea tu. So udema akiwa anataka msee anamwambia tu anamshow vile atapita kwa ile fence akuja waingie ofisi huko juu. Na mkizia juu akishaitwa hivi ni tao 10. Critical officer says come back to YouTube. We subscribe hadi ushangae. Bro, your fight tumekuwa na YouTube, it has created another opportunity. YouTube do not want me there. We have fought. So move on beyond that. I moved on. Why aren't you moving on? Have you been to www.mrlambistic.com? Have you been there yet? If you've not been there yet, why are you talking to me? Go watch the show from there. Then now we can have that discussion. YouTube kuna nini? YouTube kuna doyo. Nyanyako aliwacha huko. Sasa niende YouTube. Content ni content muda. Hey! YouTube. Unakam kunidunga na YouTube na unajua mimi na YouTube tumekosana mno. YouTube squeezy any video of mine. So I keep getting guys saying, "Oh, Kibe, you know that copyright strike." I'm like, "Copyright strike? I didn't send shit. I've been off YouTube since 2023 September." Tutafute wakisi kadhaa waende wakayapo State House. Oh no, sorry. Parliament. Ukiona mkisi ameanza kupaka odorono ujue amekuwa jigalo, ameanza kuuza deki. Hiyo ni standard. Ukiona mkisi ameanza kujipaka tu odorono nini he is now a dick slinger. Kuna tuuza deki ka kisi. They are professionals. I think because the Kisii man was given a lower recoil time, you know. Unajua wakikuyu recoil time inakuanga very very useless. Unaweza pata mkikuyu kama sasa mtu kama mimi, my recoil time is in hours. Lakini sasa pata Mkisii yake ni 15 minutes. Na kuna wengine anaweza chapa dabo no mchezo. It's riding with a flat tire. Maka gari yamke tena. Wakisii ni wazi. Ni ma dick slingers. They're the dick slingers of Africa. It's like it's a competition. Johnny B says tutafanya anniversary since you left YouTube. Yeah, we should. Since they try to kill me. You know what they do is they take your source of income. They know once they fuck you in the ass with your source of income, now you become their bitch. So everywhere. Thank God for people like Elon Musk. Because we would not have survived that very trying time. Because mtu bado aliwacha platform yake ameifungua akasema everybody here is welcome. Facebook, anything you put, they're like, this doesn't meet our standards. You're like, bro, it was just words. What do you mean? Instagram is they still, I don't know, they walilegea na Instagram kabisa. Let's do one more video. See what I have here. Odem atanimaliza. All right.
It's a teacher where my children are going to school.
So now, okay. This is going to be my last video. Okay. I want you to listen to Ngash because now we're done with Akina Nani, Akina Butita, and the baby mama, all those people. We're done with them. So now we are just finishing with Pastor Ngash. This is a celebrity pastor in Africa. In case you're wondering, he's so celebrity that he's invited many times, even into the Germany. He's invited into the Americas. He's invited to pray for people. People sometimes even fufuka. They are just spontaneously fufukaing everywhere he's going. He's a very powerful preacher. And I find to be extremely intelligent to know what I'm saying. But this guy is a real entertainer.